Alrighty, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Germ. I'm joined by Edge, and we're here to cast the, now it is called Dawn of Industry, the third chapter, the NA versus RU showmatch.
That we are, and today we'll be watching Mahou, the top clan on the NA server, take on Oil, the winner of the RU playoff series. So, two big, relatively competent clans, I would say, going up against one another.
Yes, indeed. The NA, we have casted before. We cast them versus APAC and EU. They ended up losing both matches. I believe APAC was 7-2, and EU was 7-4, 7-5. So we'll see if NA can come up with a win this time. We've got a little bit more than a minute before the first battle, so not too much time to chat. What do you expect to see happen today?
Well, Mahou did surprise, I think, pretty much everyone with their scoreline against Devi a couple weeks ago. So I'm hoping that they can put up a really good fight against this RU team. But, I mean, the Russian cluster does have a reputation for being just absolutely dominant in a competitive field. So Unfortunately, my guess is going to be more of a 7-1, 7-2 scoreline. But what do you think?
I think that's fair. I'm gonna say 7-2 NA wins.
7-2 NA wins.
Yeah, easily.
Just sweep it without any issues. There you go.
Time, man. It's time. They've been on an upward trend. They lost 7-2. They lost 7-5. Now they're gonna win 7-2.
Third
Bam.
time's the charm. They were playing us for the long con the whole time.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna go ahead and tab into game because we got 15 seconds.
Alrighty.
Oh, and I gotta hide me. So we get in here. Yeah, Russian server, Russian players, Russian clans have a reputation for being very, very fast-paced gameplay. A lot of brawls. They like to play loosely, not as, I don't want to say strategic, but like they like brawls. They like to say, we have 10 tanks, you have 10 tanks, we're going to beat you 10-0. And that's what they tend to go for. And as we go into Sand River, one of Mahou's stronger maps, we can see here Mahou bringing one Super Conqueror, two 430 or one 430U, one 140, two STRVs, two CGCs, three IS7s, and a bunch of Super Conquerors. And what is Oil bringing?
Well, Oil today, it looks like 4 277s, 3 Super Conquerors, a Bat Chat, 4 STBs, 2 430Us, and an EBR. So no artillery on the part of RU at this point, and it does look like we, it does look like we had a disconnect. So we're going to go ahead and go right back to the garage to get a quick reset on this game. They're probably just going to let Oil run in and get the cap. Yeah, just to get that reset.
Yes, and I can already see blinds coming out from Oil. It appears Mahou has all gone to garage. Mahou in the reddish orange camouflage. I'm just staying in game for now because I want to make sure that they
yeah, same here, just to make sure that everything works out correctly. And it doesn't look like Oil has gotten the message quite yet, because they are still going to go there. It looks like they're going to go ahead and kind of run what they were expecting to run for their strat. But what do you think about the lineups? I mean, the Bat Chat, I mean, it hasn't really been considered a meta tank in a Clan Wars environment, at least on NA and EU, since probably 2017, 2016.
I'd say one of the big cement blocks was the EBR, and some of the tier 10 lights in particular, even before that, in some of the more niche roles on, say, like Corelli and stuff, where you just needed raw speed and camouflage in order to do the role. I think it still has a place if it can get small engagements, because the clip potential is still really, really powerful. But the second it's not able to kind of take some intermediate control of an area with the clip, it becomes a bit of a liability. But in the late game, it can be very strong as well. I think that probably it'll be fine. I just think that the more you bring, the more tricky it is. One Bat Chat's not a big deal.
I'm trying to see if
could be scary.
It does look like everybody went back to the garage, because I don't see anybody moving. So I'm going to go ahead and go back.
Yes, I will too. I forgot to go.
I just wanted to make sure. Normally it's just a quick cap out, but it does look like everybody just bailed back to and hop back there and see.
They've only delayed it by another 15 seconds or so. Okay, looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Clap God is the one that DC'd, and he has not managed to come back yet. So just go ahead and ready up that spectator again.
And I believe the camouflages should continue to work. Yes, I don't have to keep clicking at each battle.
Yep, it works wonderfully. And a big thank you to Phil from the EU server for making those for... Oh, and everybody's leaving this game, so we're going to go...
Because this would be the next battle.
The next battle, that's right. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that tactical unit, I guess?
Yeah, I left and I joined. I have a feeling they're going to pop a new one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
This isn't it already?
We'll just go ahead and wait while I convert 1 million gold on this observer account to credits.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. It wouldn't be a World of Tanks casting stream without a bit of a hubbub at the start as we get going. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, we're here to cast. It's if any were confused about the format, they are 10-minute battles, and it is a best of 13, which means first team to 7 wins. Uh, be on a variety of maps. First one will be Sand River, and you will play two rounds on each map. Each team will have a time on quote defense. I believe Mahou, for example, is on defense in the first round. That means that if time runs out and Mahou still have tanks alive on defense, or they don't get capped out, then they win by default. Just makes it where one team has to attack and it doesn't become a double turtle, just like normal clan wars. So with that 10-minute timer, it also tends to make people push a little bit more aggressively, and it looks, here we go.
Yeah, there's the battle. There we go.
All right, so we will have a few minutes here, so we can actually go over some of the stuff. Yeah, so we will have a best of 13. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think what else. What else is there in the format? All tanks are available, correct? 279s, chieftains, and the like.
Yeah, every tank that is available to players in the game in general is available to both teams. These are special accounts made by Wargaming specifically for this. And unlike the last couple of games that you and I have casted, all of these games are taking place on the EU server. That was decided because it's kind of a middle ground between the RU cluster and NA. So the ping is relatively about the same, give or take a few. So
Yes.
it'll be interesting to see, because the last couple of games that we've seen, they've been on either the Apex server and then the NA server, or the EU server and then the NA server. So the ping advantage has been for one team or the other. This time it'll be pretty even, I think.
Yeah, and just from experience, when I used to scrim or practice against Russian teams, the default was we would practice on the EU server with our accounts there, for the exact same reason that you mentioned. I mean, for Russians to play on the North American server, the ping is just kind of unbearable, and for Americans to play on the Russian server, the ping can be kind of unbearable. The EU it's a good middle ground. Most people on the East Coast of NA have no problem. If you're West Coast of NA, it's a little bit worse, but just kind of depends a little bit on
Yeah,
your
your
relative internet.
location, absolutely. And with these games, they will be played on EU1, specifically for the reason that EU2 is generally the clan war server for the EU clusters. So that is pretty busy around this time. But even then, you can see that EU1 currently has 88,000 people on it. So
Yeah.
still a pretty busy server by comparison to our small North American cluster.
Yes. I mean, you can see even in the top left right now, around 180, almost 200,000 people online right now. Kind of prime time, weekend time in EU. Uh, yeah. So we've got about 3 minutes here. Going back to talking about how the Russians typically play, there's been a stereotype of like a little bit of a shock for a lot of NA teams, and even not just NA teams, but APAC teams and some EU teams as well. Like the speed. I can't underscore enough the speed with which the Russians tend to play, and it's not. It's just decision making and fast movement. It's we've done this, now we're doing this, and that next step is just really fast. They don't waste time. They don't let you maneuver. They don't let you think. You have to do all your thinking beforehand, and if they can get that tempo lead, a lot of times teams that are not used to that type of speed can get flustered and feel like, oh, you see it even with like lesser teams on NA or any other server with against good teams. We just have to go all in. We just have to rush because we just can't keep up with them. They're, it's like we went south, they went north, and then they went south, and then they just are circling us, and just pouncing too quickly. So we'll see how Mahou reacts, because Mahou tends to play. I mean, for an NA team in particular, I mean, they play very quickly.
They do, but like it'll be interesting to see, because right off the bat, just looking back at the lineup that they had for that quick reset, the two artillery is an interesting choice, because like you said, it is super aggressive, and you saw that oil had absolutely no artillery. They had no intention of slow playing it. So the interesting thing will be is if Mahou can slow down oil, can they then can they buy enough time for those two CGCs to work? That's the real question.
Yeah, two CGCs, two STRVs. I mean, really defensive. And I'm actually wondering, are other tanks allowed? Actually, because neither team brought them, and I'm seeing a lot of super conquerors too. So I'm wondering if they're even on these accounts or not necessarily. Okay, yeah, only tech tree tanks are allowed. That's what I
Oh,
thought.
only tech. Oh, I apologize. It is
Yeah.
the other tanks. It's the other accounts, the EU exhibition accounts that have all of the tanks unlocked. I do apologize. That is my fault.
No big deal. That's I was getting that feeling and then I just forgot to ask them because I wanted to make sure. But yeah. Uh we'll see here. We're getting ready to go in a few seconds. Yeah, Mahou have a very turtley lineup. And also another thing, without the 279s and chieftains and 907s, the ability to go more offensive is a little trickier. Super Conquerors are much stronger on defense than chieftains, and there aren't the fast moving chieftains to be able to have the high DPM movement. Like they'll have to do it 277s and the like.
That is
So
true.
yeah.
All right, in we go. Let's see, and right off the bat, we can see that same lineup that we saw earlier.
Yes, we can. For any refreshers, it's Mahou on defense in the east and Oil on offense in the west. So yeah, as you can see, a couple 277s from them, as well as some STBs. A very menagerie lineup, I suppose, with the EBRs, and Mahou bringing no EBRs, just going hard turtle with some IS7s and Super Conquerors. So it'll be interesting to see how Oil decides to try to break this turtle.
It will be. Now, the interesting thing is, then, a lot of players that aren't used to the competitive scene aren't aware of that. Is that IS7 does have very, very good view range. So depending on where Mahou decides to put them, like they might be able to get some counters on these EBRs if they're not played carefully enough. But you can see that Oil is going to go ahead, and they're just going to go ahead and like take all of that vision control directly in the south, and that does look like that's where the majority of the action is going to happen today.
Now, I have forgotten with this mod.
Z will let you fly around. Q and E.
Not caps F3.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes, yes.
And there comes the Artie shot. I think it's Teddy in the Artie. I'm just gonna ignore the shot.
Random style. It looks like the EBRs did get a quick spot onto the Mahou's group that's down there, but you can see Jeff and Ali are going to go ahead and move right up. Big hit coming in on random style.
That was
though.
a good hit on random style in the air. Very nicely done.
Big Artie shell coming in now on those two 277s in the back, taking a good chunk of HP off. But, both teams are still relatively even on the HP.
I will note something else. They did a slightly different initial than they did before. Oil did. And I think it may be based on they rethought about the lineups and decided to kind of do it a little differently, knowing that it's probably, full turtle.
Yeah, that is true.
Good Lord, look at the volley fire coming
Zero
out
getting
STB.
big fucking hit. Oh, and he goes down. Did he just fall off? Oh, no.
He fell, yes. I have never fallen there before. And look, here comes the up and over. They're going to pick off the 140 Ali immediately. Mahou Jeff is going to go down too.
First kill coming in on the Super Conqueror, on Mahou. So it doesn't look too good as of right now.
Shots being exchanged to the Super Conquerors as well. Yeah, that 430U did not last long at all. I mean, Moyle's entire initial dispersion was to pick tanks in those locations, and they're just all echeloning and poking their turrets up and over and just making good shots in.
Now you can see that Ali is hull down, but it is a 140 turret, which is not, the best thing for being hull down in. Now, the Oil being in that bowl is great for Mahou because they do have the ability to hit that with the artillery, and you can see the arty shots are coming in and doing some damage. It's just, will Ali be able to hold on for long enough to be able to let the arty continually hit that? Because you can already see Oil's STBs and 277s are flexing out right now.
Yeah, and where Ali is, he's getting HE down by the Super Conquerors up high, and that 430U position was sort of in the middle at a F7 was sort of to try to keep this guy Kopiat kind of down, and he's taking some HE damage, but Ali's, I guess his 140 is small enough that he's getting a little bit lower than a heavy tank would, but I'm not sure why a 140.
Knight taking some big hits, going from full health to only 606 HP, and then like 3 shots down to 273. That that IS7 is good. It's just in that spot, it's just that big lower plate is just so available to be penned, and Knight goes down.
Yeah, and you can see the push has come through in the middle from the STBs and 430Us have come across, and even the Barbarian has gone into the next dip, and they are just picking Mahou apart piece by piece. I mean, despite having all of those tanks in the south, they were able to just start flexing their mediums further north. The STBs started out at K3, they've already made their push. and now Mahou is just in server.
You can see those stirrups going down as well, and it looks like Oil is just able to textbook take apart this attempted camp almost completely.
Yeah, we are 3 minutes and 55 seconds into the game now, and this very, very heavy turtle has been just
Decimated.
I mean, they knew where everything was going to be. Yeah, they've. I mean, Oil has really faced turtles like this before, and they just knew what to do immediately. And here comes the bat chat at full. Oh, it's near you. Okay, interesting. Some of these names do ring some bells. Some very good players.
Oh, absolutely. There's
the
definitely
Russian
some.
server.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking at that, and you can see some names that have played consistently for the Wargaming League and for competitive gameplay. So
Yes, there's a lot of familiar names in there that have played in many different teams in the Russian server. A lot of experience, a lot of success. So no one here, and the Russian server has a lot of, I would say, depth. And there's the good ramp. A lot of depth from their players. I feel like because of the population and stuff, they're just sometimes there's random groups of like 20 young Russian kids that come up in the clan war scene, and all of a sudden just kind of take it by storm, and are just like, oh, these guys are really good, huh? And that happens a lot there. It doesn't happen as much on some of the other servers. It tends to be like the elite at the top, and then it just kind of stagnates because no one really cracks into it. But there's just a lot of raw talent on the Russian server.
that there is just I think it's the availability of such a competitive group all the time. Really, competitiveness, for lack of a better description.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a really good way of putting it, because there's complacency on some of the other servers, and yeah, like just a lot of competition there, and you have to stay on top of your game. You have to be playing constantly if you want to stay at the top, or else people are going to come in more sharp than. Looking at the post game stats from Mahou, we have Mahou number 2 and Tedster in the artillery doing 1-3k damage each, and a couple of the super conquerors at the end doing 1,2500 each. At the bottom though, you can see it trails off, but hey, I mean, if you have a player, you asked before about the bat chat. If you have a player like near you,
Yeah.
and he says, I want to play bat chat, I would probably say,
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead
that's
and do
fine.
it.
Near you can play bat chat, you can play an STB, you can play a bad AP if he really wants to. If he wants to play a tier 9, go for it. Like, I mean, it'll probably work out in the end. He's gonna do his damage, he's gonna play well.
No, absolutely, and I mean, just being able to pump out 4.2k damage. We all joke about the return of the bat chat meta, but you know what? It does prove that tank used correctly is still a formidable force, because he was just able to sit up in that little Overwatch area and just farm Night One Rider and Jeff and Swamp Cabbage Man right from behind while they were trying to deal with the stuff that was in their face.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got how many minutes? We have 3 minutes until next battle. Let me update the score line if I can find that.
Yep, and game one will go to Oil for today.
So a quick 1-0 lead in very. So the 2 previous matches we've casted have had games on Sand River. And they've been various different ones. There have been turtles, and there's been a lot of aggressive plays. That was without a doubt the cleanest game I think we've seen by Oil. Like, that was just, they were outplaying Mahou, and Mahou really looked like, oh, I guess just kind of sit here and hope it works out. They were really caught on the back foot. No, not to discredit Mahou, but Oil looked like they were on a different level.
I mean, it was just there's no real way to put it other than it was a face stomping. But that being said, Mahou is able to make adjustments now. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust to it, because now they are on the attack. Will they continue to try to camp when they have defenses? We kind of have to wait till the next series to see that. But
or will they get to try to set the tempo? Because I don't think Oil will simply do a hard turtle, but I think they could. Mahou tends to favor setting the tempo, I think, overall, and I think Knight tends to favor that. But it's very difficult to set a tempo against a team like Oil. And I mean, we've seen hard turtles on Corellia, Sand River, and all the like, and it usually goes to the end, the last couple minutes. But I was pointing out the clock there to be like, guys, think about it. It takes you a minute just to drive across the map. We were 3 minutes in. Oil had already started kind of chopping off the heads of all the little Mahou bunnies. Like it was, they had just already started. Like they'd already constricted the whole map, had all the positions they wanted, already picked tanks. That's very, very fast.
Well, they sat there and they looked at it and they realized that Mahou has 2 CGCs. They're 2 tanks down. That's 2 less tanks that have a 30-second reload to be able to dump on things. So
And they got out a lot of damage too.
yeah, they did. But the trade-off is that they can only do a shot every 30 seconds, and Oil was able to get away from clumping up to really allow Tedster and whoever is on Mahou 02 to be able to farm it.
Also, all of those Super Conquerors and IS-7s don't really have the threat of being able to split and counter push. They really lack the mobility, and the 2 STRVs. So 2 STRVs, 2 CGCs. That already is almost 1/3 of your team that can't move, really, and can't share HP. So they were able to split the map a lot more efficiently and not have to worry about, oh, what if the enemy counter pushes? Oh, the Super Conquerors are really slow. They don't really have to worry. We got 20 seconds. We're going into the next battle.
Yes, we are. In just a preliminary look at Mahou's lineup, it is a much more aggressive lineup, similar to what we saw Oil bring, actually, very interestingly, with the exception of Tedster staying in that CGC.
Of course he would. And yes, and here we go. Going in, and you can see, yeah, very different lineups from before. For Mahou on attack, bringing 1 prosciutto, 2 or 3 at 4 STBs. I'm good at counting. Mata in an EBR, Teddy in the Artie, 4 277s, 2, 3. Gosh, 3 Super Conquerors, and another prosciutto at the end because that's the way the list works.
Of course. And then from Oil, we'll see the 2 IS-7s, a Kronwagen, interestingly enough, 6 Super Conquerors, a Leo 1, an STB, an STRV, an EBR, and 2 T92s. Oh, and it does appear that I messed up my camo thing, so we do need to switch that in between games, it appears.
Oh, yes, we do. Okay, so apologies, guys. The colors are backwards. So if you look at the top of your screen, you see the blue. Despite the fact that they are in red paint, that's not true. They're actually in blue paint. So Oil is in the blue, is on defense, on the mini-map, and on their health bar.
Do not pay attention to the tank colors.
Yes, indeed. Sorry about that. Yes, and we will fix it before the next one. And yes, near you playing the Kronwagen. So near you playing the Ugly Duckling again, and you can see this.
Oof, big arty hits coming in on the Mahou's STBs, already chipping away almost 2,500 HP.
And look at the push through the middle. There go the 277s. They are taking a lot of punishment. One of them down to a 2-shot already. As they try to take that middle gully, they have the STBs in the side, and there goes Swamp Cabbage. Or sorry, Swamp Cabbage.
No, Swamp Cabbage picks the first target, which would be Brainbreaker in the STRV. So good shot from him.
Position, wasn't he?
Now the unfortunate now if you notice, Oil is going to go ahead and they're going to take control of that southern area. Those 2 STBs, they've lost more than half of their HP. Both of them, they don't have the staying power anymore. So those 277s that are in the mid are now in deep trouble because those Super Conquerors can just kind of like shoot at them at will.
Yes, they have a couple of little safe spots, but they're not really safe, right? And they're kind of. Meanwhile, you can see there's a fight in the north. You can see the IS-7 up there. Relic? Relia, nice one, God. Yeah, here goes the 277. They're taking a lot of damage here, and Ali down to a 1. Yeah, where does Mahou go from here? Because there goes Ali down.
Yeah, they took good positioning, but like those 2 big arty hits on those STBs just, I think, kind of threw a wrench into Mahou's plans because they were planning on using those guys to keep any sort of push down the K line contained. But that has stopped, and it's turned into a north-south game. Mahou does have more control of the map, but with Relia and Nice God up there in that little pocket, it's going to make it really difficult to to get in there and dig him out, because that IS-7s, they only have 303 APCR pen, but they have a lot of HP and a lot of armor.
Yeah, and I just saw an artillery shot hit the mountain next to the IS-7 from Morelia, and yeah, not able to connect. You can see Swamp Cabbage trying to get a shot in there, but Morelia definitely knows he is there. You can see this is his first-person perspective. He is just watching him while keeping his turret faced away. If you're a new player, this is a good idea of how to play. Is you lock your turret, you hold down right-click, and you make sure that you know your surroundings. He doesn't need to be aimed down his gun, and he doesn't need to look at Swamp Cabbage in order to keep him from being able to shoot.
Absolutely, and all he's doing right there is preventing Mahou from taking control of the entirety of the north, because he's just, that IS-7, it has the spotting ability, it has the armor, and it has the staying power to just kind of make them have to push him to get him out. But when they push him, everything that's on Mahou's or on Oil's F9, F0 ridge is just going to farm it. And you can see all the tanks that Mahou is losing, they're already down by almost 10,000 HP at this point.
Jeez, yeah, and you can see here comes the final push-in on the 2 line. It's been a slow, steady push-up with these Super Conquerors and the IS-7, but they've just been slow and steady. They've been getting their shots into the middle, and, all those 277s, they're gone in the middle, and the Mahou push just did not work out.
No, and you can see the repush now happening in the south. They're just taking out those 2 STBs that are all that's left. You see Tank Destroyer up on that little perch, but, 1 Super Conqueror is not enough to keep back 5 tanks.
Yeah, just Mahou did that mid play, but it kind of, they picked the STRV, but wasn't really anything else to get. And that's kind of the problem I see sometimes from those type of plays aggressively blind is, what's the goal? What do you want to take? Because they were given what they wanted, I think, but the enemy didn't really have things to kill.
It almost appears that Oil gave them just enough to hang themselves with.
Yeah, they went in there, and then Oil just kind of completely took the outside of the map, took out the enemy tanks that were on the outside of the map, and that was.
And if we could just go ahead and get some Fs in the chat for poor Tedster here trying to hide.
I won't watch him. I'll watch him DDR drive around in rally mode. I don't need to. Actually, no, it'll be head dying.
Toxic.
Oh, I missed it. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. We missed the already dying. That's my bad.
All right, and that will get us off to a very fast 0-2 start for Oil, taking the lead up 2 games almost immediately. Now, we should be able to just leave our branded tank skins the same, because we will start, I think, with Mahou on defense again for this next map. Now, I'm not entirely sure what map it is, because they did not provide us with a list, an ordered list of what the maps are. So,
yes, we know that the map pool is Highway, Himmelsdorf, Mines, Prokhorovka, Sand River, Steppes, and Malinovka would be the tiebreaker if we get that far. So we have seen Sand River, so that leaves a 1 in 5 chance. Could be Highway, Himmels, Mines, Proc, or Steppes next. It will be one of those. I'm looking at the post-game stats. You can see Zerial getting out 3,600. Geo getting out almost 3K. Tedster as well. Mahou 27, same. Then it drops down to about 2K below that. Meanwhile, Lannister in his Leopard doing more than 4K for Oil. 3,500 from Dema Kaput in his IS-7. STB doing 3K as well. Random Stomachs. EBR getting out 2,500. Very good. And 2 T92s faring not so awfully. And here we go. The battle has popped.
there we go. And it will be Mines, so a very heavily brawl-flavored map, which is the specialty of the RU server. So this should be fairly interesting to see how deals with this, because you can't really camp on Mines with it being such a small map.
Before we go into that, okay, so Mahou on the left with red.
Yes.
Oil on the right with blue.
Yes.
And we are good. Okay. Just making sure. I've readied up and make sure, yes, you are readied up too. That means I can tab out.
It does, I'm not entirely sure what Mahou is going to do for this, honestly.
Yeah, so Mines, I believe, is the one. Mines and Highway in the map pool are the two maps that I think we haven't seen in this set of NA matches, NA versus EU or NA versus APAC yet. I think a lot of teams tend to ban it just because Clan Wars on Mines was never that much fun to me.
No, it's a rock, paper, scissors of is team going here? Well, then we go here. If they're not going here, then we go here.
Yes, and updated scoreline showed 2-0 Oil lead. They swept Mahou on Sand River, which I think is Mahou's strongest map personally. Maybe they feel differently now. But Mines, I don't know how Mahou will play. But like you said, it can be a very brawly map, and I think that's exactly what Oil will want. If they can get that fight in the middle, but at the same time, if they're on defense, Mines is a pretty solid map to defend. Very defensively favored. It's very difficult to push through. You just kind of have to go for it. And if the defenders hit their shots, you tend to lose.
That is true, and interesting lineup choice by Mahou right off the bat. Just that cursory glance, I'm seeing 2 EBRs and TVPs and 50Bs and a bat chat.
Well, one thing I would say is not having the availability of now each one's been like another nail in the coffin in terms of tank diversity, but people will say, oh, it's the 279s have killed it, oh, chieftains have killed it. Well, 907s have killed it too. Not having access to those 3 tanks in this type of format presents a lot of interesting situations because a lot of people say, well, you have chieftains or you have super conquerors. Well, the super conquerors are great defensively, but they are slow. Very, very slow. Like on that last game on Sand River, if Oil had chieftains instead of super conquerors, that whole southern attack would have taken half as long as it did in that game. But without those tanks, it also means some of the strengths of those tanks are the armor profiles, and in particular, the armor profiles when you're not like fully aiming your shots and you're taking kind of half snapshots. So things like TVPs, for example, with lower penetration and a more difficult to fully aim in shot because you're dumping your clip so quickly. Against 907s, 907s will bounce the shots against TVPs, right? So now you're maybe not facing 907s. You're facing 140s, though TVPs feel a lot stronger, right?
Yeah,
So a lot of weird options can happen.
Yeah, it definitely opens up the availability to take different tanks, try out different meta, and I know that is what Mahou has been doing these past couple of weeks because they've been using some of their EU NA show match games where they haven't been having them streamed. They've just been trying different things to play with the meta, play with different ideas, really kind of see what works and what doesn't. So Mahal has been prepping for this. It's just, I honestly think it's going to come down to just the raw capabilities of the RU server at this point. I mean, Sand River is one of their strongest maps and not a particularly brawly map in most cases. It's more angles and line of sight. So now we really get to see what the RU server can do when it comes down to just a straight up brawl and how they're going to handle it.
And I'm gonna anger 80% of Twitch chat by saying this. I miss boosts, man. We could go into this Mines game in a 15 on 15. We could have like a 7v7 up in the mountains if boosts were still in the game. But we're not going to have that because it's not fun anymore. And all that. I mean, think about all the possibilities of EBRs doing jumps up there. Oh my.
Germ underscore mountain goat NA.
It would be so awesome. Just imagine the capabilities, the possibilities, guys. They're endless. But yeah, we got 20 seconds. We're going into the next battle on Mines, and I believe Oil is on defense first, if it looks correct.
I believe so, yes. They are side 1, so yes, they will have the defense first, and Mahou will have the attack. So I think we've got everything set up correctly. We will have to
Fingers
wait and
crossed.
see.
And wow.
Interesting lineups. We do not have the camo set up correctly.
Oh god dang
They
it.
changed it from the last time. Okay.
So
First off,
for
what is Mahou bringing?
Mahou, so Mahou is on the south, and they are bringing 2 prosciuttos, 2 TVPs, an STRV, some EBRs, CGC, IS-7277s, 150B, 1 Batchat, and what?
Oil.
Francais.
Oil is 350Bs, 2 M454s, a whole host of Batchats, a Foch B, and 2 13105s. So a full French lineup from the Russian server today.
Absolument, s'il vous plaît. We've got all Francais.
And we can see that those Batchats, they're just taking the hill.
Maybe a little fun coming from Russia after those games. Bringing all of these French tanks. I like it.
We can see that the 3 Batchats, they're just going to do a quick spot run on the 8 line. Barbarian taking some big hits. But, you know, now they have control of that mid-road. Mata taking some big hits as well, though. He's down to 252 HP. Aggressive now in the Batchat and the Overlook. He can just farm Mata at will if he wants. The EBR is down in K1. You've still got Tedster in the Arty, which can dump out some damage. But, you know, these French tanks, you can see Lexman boosted up into that little Overwatch. For your boosting pleasure.
Nope, I gotta find him.
Now, the interesting thing about both of these lineups is the TVP does have a quicker reload than the Batchat, but it is less pen, less alpha, but a slightly more accurate gun. And you can see that they have kind of relocated them because the TVP, it can kill a Batchat.
Here comes the push in around the side. Lannister taking a lot of damage. He will go down in a moment here.
Going down, Dema kaput, gone to 652 HP. But, you know, all they needed to do was turn some turrets, which they did succeed in doing, and now it's Oil is rather able to just get some farming.
Really, they got rid of the STRV. The STRV was in a painful position for this main push on the 4 line, and now that that is gone, the 4 line is more safe. But
Leximan dumping onto Knight. Leximan going down to big guns after he got stuck on top of Knight.
You can see just a brawl kind of happening. Some weird things are going on in this push.
Well, you see the 2 13105s did manage to pick apart those 2 EBRs that were down there, so they did have to go ahead and move one of them out. But now all that's left to stand between Tedster and the Oil is now a Progetto 65. And you can see the 2 TVPs are stuck in the water down there at this point.
Yeah,
HP still relatively even, though.
Yeah, the HP advantage is now in Oils. They have the big strategic control. The TVPs down on this low ground are just dead. They're sitting ducks. There's nothing they can do there. It's just waiting to die. But it should be Oils' game. They made things interesting with the French lineup. Ooh, that was a loud noise. I love that the audio of being in sniper mode when you get shot still breaks my eardrums.
The interesting thing, it looks like Oil for those M454s brought both... they brought both the big gun, not the small APCR gun. So, you know, able to dump out that big damage while still going relatively quick.
Now just finishing Swamp Cabbage's quick review. That will do it. 1 win for France, or should I say, RU, taking a 3-0 lead. The question is, what tank comp will we see next?
That a lot is more countries the real question.
We check the post-game stats. We can see Ali in his 50B. French did top DPS for Mahou, just saying. French tank did well there too. Just edging out Prosciutto by 30 or so damage. Swamp Cabbage then with 2,600. Then it starts trailing off. Meanwhile,
it really
French
came...
is #1 for
Oil for everything, yeah.
The Foch getting out 3,300 damage. The 13105 getting out almost 3k damage. A lot of kill shots here from all these autoloaders, and yeah, just well done by Oil, having a little bit of fun, and that's kind of the point. It is a game after all, and it's good to have a good.
Oh boy.
Okay, now for the camos.
I think if we leave them exactly the same, we should be good.
Will we?
I think.
Let's go for it.
I think we're good.
Work. So yeah, sorry guys. Sometimes it's a little awkward because, well, we don't know who's on attack and defense necessarily. We don't know who's side 1 and side 2 sometimes based on the little thing. So appreciate the technical difficulties, but now 100% it's going to work.
100% of the time, 50% of the time.
Yeah. 100% of the time it works, 50% of the time. Yeah, exactly. Got about 3 minutes going into the next one. I'm going to say, if I were to venture a guess, I think it's time for China. Like, I think the Russians will play all Chinese tanks this round because I don't think that they've played any Chinese tanks yet. And after the French round, like, they got all those tanks set up, and I think they used their time efficiently during this time to set up all of their 113s, set up all their 121s, set up all of their whatever that awful tank destroyer is called again, the tier 10 Chinese one. You know, the bad
the
130,
113 FT, I think.
Yeah, the like 268 but worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I think that they're gonna come, and the Wheezy, the one, one not Wheezy 132, 132-1
Yeah, the really bad Chinese light tank.
with a turret that's good but not good.
Absolutely.
But it's got a big boom. It's got a big 390 alpha, so that can do things. I hope that we see China. Chinese tanks are some of the most fun tanks in this game. But I will say I preferred them when they couldn't aim down. That was a good time. Yeah, we've got about 2 minutes going into this. Mahou, will they be able to scrap it together? Because I mean, now it's a question of embarrassment because they may have come into this going, look, we're gonna play our best. We're gonna do what we can. Stick to the plan. We have our strat for each map. But when you face something like the all-French lineup and you get kind of exploited, it's just, they're getting toyed with a bit. Can they get beyond that? Or are they in the I just want to get out of here phase? Or what do you think is going to happen?
I think we're probably going to get to the point that it's just not... I don't know, honestly.
If I were Mahou, I would say have your plan, stick to it, and just look at it as we need to improve. Even if we lose or whatever, it doesn't matter. I want us to use this as experience and in moving forward, because the whole goal is to just improve yourself, improve your team, and try to be better next week than you were last week.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
If they can do that, then don't chalk it up to like, oh, we're losing, just give up. Like, use all of the time. You're here, you spent the time, make the best of it. These are really good players you're playing against. Learn what you can. I'm tabbing back in because we have a few seconds till the battle starts.
Yep, right about
already
10
see
seconds.
Mahou's lineup is an interesting one. That is a hard lineup.
That is a lot, and I don't want to knock this too soon, but I'm not. Oh my god!
Yes, I was wrong, and I'm never been more happy to be wrong.
Holy shit! 43,900 HP for Oil right now,
and 35,700 for Mahou, bringing 2468 IS7s, 6057s, and the one mouse. I think of him as the envoy.
So Oil's.
I think Ali is like the diplomat, right? Like, they're gonna send Ali across the middle as like a token of good faith to negotiate peace with the mouse. The mouse is from Oil.
God, 14 mice, 140. That token RU tank.
Oh, the salute. Okay, everyone's pointing their guns in the air doing the salute. Okay. Interesting, interesting. So, now here's the question. Can Mahou beat it? I mean,
I mean,
Mahou has
of all the tanks to bring, though, the IS-7 is probably the weakest tank to
is
fight a
the
mouse with.
weakest tank for it. Unless they can get into an advantageous position on the hill with the I-7s, which is what they're trying to do. If they're able to get up there, then that can help. The T-57s, though, are very strong against the mice. But we'll see how they work, because all those T-57s are sitting at that rock, and that may be too many.
Just this wall, it's literally the west wall just pushing right now.
And, hey, Relia, I'm surprised they didn't just execute him. Why is he there in a 140? He's a betrayer. He didn't listen to the strat.
He forgot. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And you can see the mice are just pushing right up.
Here's the crossfire that Mahou have set up, though. Like, I mean, this could be all memes, but this is about as good of a crossfire as you could hope for.
I mean, it's a setup, but Oil still gets the first kill. Those 57 heavies are now all on reload and trapped. So...
I-7 DPM, not the greatest. Penetration, not the greatest.
Of all the tanks to bring, not the best decision.
Yeah, and now Barbarian and Kopiat and company will kill the last T-57.
And it does appear that at this point, RU has just decided it's not even worth playing.
Yes,
it's just disrespect at this point.
Memes. It is disrespect, and this kind of comes with the territory. It shows you just how high of a level, because I mean, Mahou against most other NA teams tend to do the similar thing to them, and oh, Kopiat going for the Goomba, going for the Goomba,
and achieve.
Very nice. Okay, Kopiat gets maximum fantasy points for that. And here we have it. About 20,000 HP advantage, 15,000 HP advantage still.
Congratulations. Mahou has now managed to chew through a little over half of the HP needed to win the game.
And they've killed 3 mice. Oh, and the bounce on random style to try to get the... Oh, and now he goes down to the T-57 Swamp Cabbage picking it up. Relia is still alive. Again, I don't like this play from Oil. I think that it shows, you know, lack of discipline. Rainbreaker does a little jump. I think that Relia should have been executed at the beginning by his comrades. I think it's disgraceful what he's doing here. Ollie's in the corner. I just realized the whole time.
Yeah, he was slated for that cap defense, and
extra.
Will he be able to do it?
Wait,
maybe.
Don't kill him. He just saved you guys. He killed the betrayer, and yeah, good job, Extra. I'm gonna call him Extra. XV Red Ding.
Will Oil kill him, or will they cap? That is the real question.
I think they're gonna kill
him. Will they reach him before they cap?
Oh, they are. Ali is tall enough to kind of see over that, and there are a few slits in there.
Here comes Death Shot.
Everyone holding your shots. Oh! Extra getting the kill. I hope that these tournament accounts are programmed properly, so that they do not get banned for team killing on the cap, because that has happened in tournaments before.
That is true. And I don't know about you, but I'm just taking a look at my chat, and they're watching the Bat Chat memes right now, and they seem to be appreciating the humbling of Mahou at this point.
Yeah, I think that I like still the normal copy pasta of NA is a region standing for not advancing. We manage to go into global tournaments every year and disappoint despite having no expectation. Looking at the post-game stats, Swamp Cabbage getting out more than 5k damage in his T-57. You can see T-57s can shred mice, just not all of them. Big guns, getting out 3 shots, 3 bounces. Unfortunate. Oil did turn blue with that kill. Did he get banned? We shall see. Yeah, I'm still holding out for China.
We will have to see. Alrighty, so we should be able to leave this the same. Our camos the same because Mahou is now on defense first, which will give them the orange on the left. So we
Now
should
you
be.
say that.
Yeah, I say that. We'll give it a shot and we'll see. But this is match point now. No, it's not yet. Not quite.
It is a 4-0 scoreline. Oil winning. It is a, again, for those just coming in, it is a best of 13. So first team to 7 wins. And that means if Oil wins the next 3, means we could get China, we could get Italy, we could get America. Would they do American tanks against the North American team? Ooh. Maybe they'd save that for last. I don't know. There's still 3 more good combos out there. Oh, Japan. They did the mice. Would they do all type 5s? Do you think they could win with that?
It's possible.
Could they win with all type
Well,
5s?
I'm looking at it right now, and Mahou is writing up a proc strat, which is just all EBRs and Leopard 1s and 1 mouse again for Ali. So, all type 5s? Yeah, I could see that working.
Just updating the scores. Yeah. So Prokhorovka, we have 4 minutes until the battle starts. I like this map in Clan Wars. It's not great, but I like it a lot more than Mines. But will we see memes is the question. I remember one time in Clan Wars we brought, shortly after the EBR came out, I think I was in Bulba at the time, or maybe it was Otter, I can't remember, and we brought 15 EBRs, and we simply all rushed the cap against some random Clan Wars team, and just ran in circles on the cap with about 8 of us, and we capped out. And I think we killed like 2 tanks, and they were all trying to hit us, but they couldn't hit us. Do you think that we could see a similar,
I mean,
similar situation here?
are we? Honestly, I'm looking at this, and the only thing that I can think is Wallhack screaming, "Do the washing machine!"
Yes, it
And,
was Wallhack. Okay, so it had to be. Yes, we were all running in circles like counterclockwise on the cap. It was freaking fantastic. It was a great time. To the washing machine, just go in a circle. Oh, I would love to see a repeat of that, a Clan Wars campaign finale. But yeah, Prokhorovka, traditionally very open map. You have a 2-line play. It is defensive favored, but I think less so. A lot of times there's also the rail line. You will see teams split it east-west quite frequently. And there are a lot of very good opportunities for good light tank players to really show what they can do. And Russia has very good light tank players, for sure.
Oh, they certainly do. I think this is just going to be a full-on brawl.
Yeah.
I'm curious to seeing what Oil is going to bring. I know, looking at what Mahou's bringing. I mean, I almost want to see a whole bunch of EBRs try to ram kill a Type 5 to death. Not gonna lie.
They will fail.
Oh, of course they will, but it'll be entertaining to say the least.
Yes. Part of me kind of wishes, like, because I kind of like to see the Oil play proc, because I feel like the viewers can learn a lot, but memes are still fun too. There's just a lot of little nuance to Prokhorovka with the way the light tanks play and with the way that little flex groups work and some of the sight lines and stuff that people, I feel like in pug battles in particular, don't really understand how Prokhorovka works, where they can actually shoot or be shot at from, and where they're safe and where they're really not safe.
Oh no, absolutely. Well, and you have to remember as well with the 1.0 release, a lot of the maps were completely reworked. That includes a lot of the bushes, and for a game developing company that enjoys fixing bugs, they don't seem to want to fix most of the bushes on most of their maps. But don't worry, the most important patch happened when they fixed the bug where the drive wheel on the 277 got dirtier than the rest of the tank. So we know at least the priorities are going in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of been tradition though. Prokhorovka in every iteration, the bushes work or they don't work. And part of the funny things years ago were the good teams knew which bushes didn't work and which bushes worked, and which bushes a lot of the times there were actually, so there's small, medium, and large, and then I think there's the tiny shrub bushes in World of Tanks, and they have different camo values associated with it. There were a lot of bugs, if I remember right, in the old Prokhorovka that were, they simply messed up coding them. So it was like, this looks like a large bush, but it is actually a small bush. Or this looks like a small bush visually, but it's actually a huge bush. So it was like these tiny bushes would offer a bunch of camouflage and hiding, even though you don't look like you're in the bush. And the big ones wouldn't offer you anything at all.
Oh yeah. Well, in now you get to add the extra level of uncertainty, which is which bushes do not make full contact with the ground in the camo modifiers, but it does on visibly on your screen. Those are my
Yes,
favorite bushes.
especially underneath the bushes when you have the hill fight. A lot of people don't realize a lot of those bushes you can see underneath them because someone's below you and you're kind of above them. But yeah, there's a lot of nuance. And let's not forget, what was it called, Prokhorovka on Fire or Fiery Salient, where all of the bushes didn't work.
that was my favorite map. I'm
Luckily,
kidding. That was
got removed.
awful. Oh boy. Interesting choice.
I think Mahou.
Might win this,
I
possibly?
think they can win this. I think that this is their time.
If Mahou loses this, I mean...
Look,
Oh, hey, our camos worked correctly.
hey, nice.
Only took 5 tries.
Mahou bringing a mouse, a bunch of leopards, and a bunch of EVRs, and Oil bringing
6 RD?
6-1 RD and
Oh.
some EVRs.
Whoo! We just teleported into the ground and then back. We can see the Mahou is just gonna go ahead and shit push right up the mid.
Yes, and you can see the EVRs from the other side just kind of pushing across into the rail side, so...
Ali, the
It's
token mouse,
interesting.
still back at cap.
Yes, indeed.
Will the RD escape, though? They did. They all managed to get over the tracks in
Yep.
time. Oh god, the fire on the Badger, though.
Oh no, not the Badger!
All the RD coming in.
No.
First kill.
Badger goes down.
Brendan down as, or
Oh,
excuse me,
here they
Swamp
go
Cabbage
with a
down
bit of
as well.
jumping up and over.
EZ now on the other side, getting rammed by Dima.
Kaput's doing the ram, and there goes the turret off. Everyone's just having a bit of fun now, but I think Mahou in the lead, despite losing 3 guns.
They are up on HP right now by about 7,000, but who knows?
The Barbarian may go down in a moment here. May have just gone dark. Nope, he is still lit, and there goes a good hit in there from Clap God. But no cap pressure has been applied yet.
Nope, none whatsoever, and I don't think that they are planning to do that at all.
No, 2-6-1s just have to all hit their shots here.
Full pens on everyone, and Oil wins again.
As we wait and look here, will this
Oh, and there's the cap pressure.
2 seconds will near you and Zelo?
Jeff going down, Xylo going down.
So as you can see, the artillery here forming a square formation with the 2-6-1s behind, the CGC in the middle here. It's designed to protect the CGC because he's kind of the VIP here, right? So just realize he's got 7 seconds here until Ali takes about 300 damage here and has a bunch of stun. And Mahou are losing.
They are now losing at this point.
What happened? I just got tunneled on near you.
Oh, and Ali taking 3 big arty hits.
The square formation now turning into a triangle. Natural thing. Kopiat going out to the flex position. The tip of the spear in the front.
And
Kopiat, the tip of
another
the spear,
big guns
takes a
going
line shot.
down. Ali's still alive, though. He has now almost made it to the fight. Maybe. We can see that Mahou are going to take those EBRs and they're going to try to push Lex on the hill, but you know Lex is in that bush.
I know it was a meme, but how did Mahou lose in the? Did they just throw themselves away?
I don't know. I don't know how they actually lost, honestly.
Okay, going in for the next 261 shot on number 27.
I have now learned that this observer mod does not like EBRs, apparently.
Possibly.
You can see 27 and Nickel back there just not in the right spots.
It seems to have a bit of lag time when you're out of draw to update.
Yeah, it does,
on
apparently.
The team panel.
Nickel, though, you know, playing on EU out of their normal server on SA, so you know, it is expected that you know she won't perform as well as she needs to sometimes.
That
was
fun. I'm having a great time. We had an awful tournament like months ago with something clan wars where someone was kind of throwing. This is fun though. This is legitimately fun. I'm not saying that like sarcastically. I'm having a great time. Looking at the post game stance, Zero getting out 2k damage along with Nickel as well. Then Relia getting out 3,300 in his EBR and a little friendly fire. Nice. Aggressive getting out 3k in his 261 against that lineup. Pretty impressive. Lexa with about 3k as well. Then Brainbreaker with 2,500. The Badger wasn't given the protection he needed to do the maximum DPM.
No,
I
and
hope
then
that their next
Ali
strategy
just
revolves
becoming
around him.
Ali just becoming that HP pinata for those arty pieces. It yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and switch our camos.
Oh, interesting. So I will now make it 5-0 and put Mahou on the right and Oil on the left.
No. Leave your observer mod settings the same. So we should still have Mahou on the right, or on the left, excuse me, and Oil on the right. And then for the camo, it should be the give up style camo on the right, and then the trust camo on the left, and then just hit apply, and it should work.
Gotcha. Now we're good. I will ready back up. I will update my scoreline for you guys.
All right, then that should make it 5-0 in favor of Oil at this point.
So yeah, we got one more round on Prokhorovka. I want to see what I was going to say before is I want to see a strategy that revolves around the Badger rather than just leaving the Badger out to die. I think that the Badger should be protected. He should be the tip of the spear. He needs to be allowed to do his job, which is to carry the... That's my only criticism of Oil in the last battle. Let the Badger shine. It's never gotten to shine before. Like, now is time. This is perfect time to let the Badger shine for the first time in its history.
When was the last time you saw a 261 used in a, quote, Clan Wars game since the Arty adjustments?
Actually, no, I've seen it before. It's not as awful on this map in particular, in theory, if this were a more serious situation, simply because if you are on Prokhorovka South, there are two sets of artillery spawns towards the east and towards the west. Depending on your strategy and what artillery you bring, especially with EBRs now in particular, but even before that with T100s, you had to have the correct... If you spawned towards the rail side, towards the east on your spawn with your artillery, you could not get to the one line and get safe, which means that you were stuck or you were likely dead if the enemy did a right scout run. So 261s are actually one of the few artillery that can get safe. 5355s are another artillery that can get safe. CGCs, Not really, but sometimes you have to have a push or a shield. You sometimes would actually legit have someone drive to try to protect it, but a lot of times they would die. So 261's not that far fetched.
It's just not as good as
Six
it
of
used to be.
them,
That's for
on
sure.
the other hand. Now, hang on. Did oil break the rules? Because I thought we had an artillery cap now in World of Tanks public battles because of the stun mechanic.
Oh
I'm just
god.
saying there could be a disqualification because that much stun is too much stun for anybody.
Easy for it, a full win. Full win due to technicality. Let's go.
Yes, indeed. So we got a 5-0 scoreline in this best of 13. We got about 30 seconds till we go in.
Alrighty. Make sure that we are all readied up. We are, and we see similar comp again. A whole bunch of EBRs, Leos, one batch hat.
They're not the comp I'm interested in.
This is true.
I want to see oil. Come on, type 5s. Come on, type 5s. Come on, type 5s. We should start a pool. Chat, like have them bet.
Give us some. Oh, all EBRs.
Washing machine strat. Yes, here we go. So for Mahou, we have 6 leopards, 1 batchat, 1 mouse, 2, 4, 6, 7 EBRs. And what are oil bringing?
Well, it appears 15 EBRs. Just a guess, though. I'm not entirely sure.
Now, will they split? Will they stay together? Will they form a VE?
I'm expecting a wolf pack. I'm kind of hoping for a wolf pack.
So
And it looks like they are.
Divide. Harasho. Forward, attack. Pick a target, delete it.
And here comes the EBR rush.
Oh,
aggressive down.
Instantly. Oh, he's gone.
Oof.
Next target is Swamp Cabbage.
Swamp Cabbage is down again. Oh my goodness, it's just carnage everywhere.
On top of another.
Knight just goes down. 3 down in the span of 1 second almost. Oh my gosh. Those Leo 1s just getting picked apart by the Hesh shell.
By the Hesh, they're big targets. Still only 1 tank dead for oil. What's going on? I mean, Lannister's at 20 HP.
Oh, goodness.
Continue to run in circles. Oh! We've got more friendly damage to oil from bumping into each other than I think Mahou have done to them.
I think so as well, and it's just everything is going down.
His friend by stopping him in place in front of a leopard. But it doesn't matter now. Ali. They all need to shoot Hesh, and there's only 1 spot that they can even stand a chance to do any damage, and that's on the engine deck.
Will we get rams? Will we get rams by the EBRs? The heat shells are coming now.
I think they have the plan. Look, you can see them starting to go behind. Oh,
there's the ram.
Near you with the ram. Oh, they loaded heat. That's not fair. They need to load HE and just plink away. Ali having the super heavy spall liner on though for this plan.
Reliance now ramming and dying. 115 HP down for Ali at this point. Are they just what are they doing? Are they all ramming him? It appears they're going for the rams. They're the rams. 38 HP left.
Oh, we have a
and there's the kill.
Hey. Put with the kill. The beautiful ram.
And that will make the scoreline 6-0.
I feel like I've witnessed a fucking murder.
I mean, like, there's playing the game and having fun, and now we're getting into the territory of just kicking them while they're down.
Ali getting out 5,300 damage and 6 kills on only 5 penetrations. Blocking 3,900 damage with his armor. So how do you get that many kills? You just didn't shoot that much. He just mostly he he got that damage through good positioning. He managed to put himself in between the enemy EBRs and their goal of victory. And by doing so, he positioned himself to get a lot of damage.
Oh, goodness. And with this game, Oil will be on side 1. So for our camos, I believe we just leave them the same.
Now, that's been what you've said every single time.
But we flipped it this past time, so I think we leave it the same.
Okay. I'm going to trust you.
Also, I apologize. I've lost track. Are we on 5 wins for Oil or 6?
That is 6.
Okay.
Update my score sheet. It is a 6-0 lead, so there is a... I don't know how to count that high. They're on 7 match points here.
This is match point. If Mahou does not win a game, this will end the dreams, as it were.
Yes, indeed, and it will be on steps. An awful map through and through. You guys have heard me whinge and whine about it every time we play it, because I used to love the map and it's so defensively favored. But we have opportunities here, because I've thrown out Japan as a possibility, I've thrown out China as a possibility of things that I feel like, we haven't seen from the Russians yet. What nation would you like to see?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I mean, let's go through the options.
Polish is an option.
That is an option, actually.
60 TPs with nothing but HE loaded.
That is not a bad option either. Okay, so we've got Germany as an option, but they've already been played, so they're scratched out. We've got Russia, not an option. We see Russian tanks all the time. I don't think I've seen any American tanks. I feel like it would be like a poetic end if they brought like all E5s and Sheridans. But it would also be a little rough. You've seen the French. China may be too good. I think Japan. I think I want to see Japan or Poland.
A whole bunch of Type 5s would be really entertaining to see, honestly. Just, on steps, get in that flying V formation and just drive across the field.
Yeah, I would. That would be good. We could also see a bunch of artillery. We'll see. We've got about 3 minutes till the battle starts. This has been a fun day. It started out pretty serious in the first battle or two. Things quickly devolved. But in those first couple of battles, which were very serious, the Sand River game, that first game...
I think that solidified everything.
Yes, it was maybe to the layman, like you could say, oh, Oil won or Oil won handily. There were a lot of things going on there that even I, as a commentator, can't really express properly. You can dissect that replay a lot to just look at just the level of play Oil kind of came into this with.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It was very, very good. And now they're having some fun, and I don't blame them, but if you are interested in looking at Clan Wars games and things like that, highly encourage you. I mean, I know some of those guys stream as well. Check out their pub gameplay and the like, and I'm sure there's a lot you can learn from them and in their strongholds or Clan Wars battles as well. So we've got 2.5 minutes. And Mahou, again, tend to do this to most of the NA teams that they face. And we talked about it before.
Well, there's just
NA,
such a skill gap. It has some
competition. I mean, Russia has a lot of competition at the top.
Well,
even the best teams, there's just a lot of good players coming.
I mean, we commented right at the start of the stream how many people are on EU right now. I mean, there's 188,000 on EU. Primetime NA, we're lucky if we get 20,000. And the RU server, I mean, they average, 400 to 500,000 on at the same time? So, I mean, it's one of those situations where there's just so much more competition. The competition is so much more well done. The meta changes. Unfortunately, like Mahou just, and I'm not saying there isn't competition on NA. I'm just saying that like there's so much more competition on every other server, that NA is consistently at a disadvantage when it comes to that.
Yeah, like I remember there was a Gold League season or a Clan War season where a Russian team came up, and I remember talking to some people, and I was like, "Well, who are these guys?" Like they just beat like Copum 2 or like these other top Russian clans way back then. And it was just like, "Who are these guys?" And now they have a Gold League team or whatever. It's like, "Oh, these guys, they're a bunch of 16-year-old Russian kids that just started playing and they're really good. Like no one knows them. Like it's like they just started playing in this last year." It was like, "Oh." And they just just kind of jumped on the scene. It's just there's a lot of raw talent that can just kind of appear at times, and like you said, because of the nature of the way their strongholds and clan wars scene works, there's just a lot of opportunity for that. That's not to discredit those players. That it's more just like there's this churn effect of a lot of competition going on. They're constantly playing each other, and they constantly get better and better and better and better and better. So that just the bar gets raised for a lot of the high tier clans to stay sharp, because this new group of guys will come in and beat you if you aren't playing sharp.
Oh, absolutely. And this game is just so immensely popular in Russia, and or as what is it, the community of independent states that formed after the fall of the Soviet Union. It's this game is just such a popular game in that region that there's continually new people coming in, and this will be interesting.
Knew it would be the Americans.
This is going to
They
be interesting.
saved all American lineup. So Mahou bringing all E50s on attack and one mouse. And meanwhile, Oil bringing Sherry Sheridans and one T92.
This is going to be interesting because okay, what's your bet? Are the Sheridans running the Derp or the 105?
Oh.
Oh, it seems like there's a mix actually. Some have the 105 and some have the Derp.
Yeah, we can see right here one with the derp. Mr. Aggressive has the derp on, and Mr. Dilma has the 105. Yeah. Now, the E50M is not a good tank. But in mass, I'd say the E50M is a pretty good tank to face a bunch of Sheridans.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's in mass. I mean, just ramming the Sheridan will kill it. Now the thing that they have to watch out for is the derp gun heat shell, and there comes an HE shell. O2 on fire already. Big fire on him. Swamp Cabbage Man taking some big damage as well from HE shell.
Win, even with all the mutants aside, like the stats wise, the E50 is just so much
Oh,
stronger.
Lady Nickel taking a huge heat pen, and down she goes.
The derp not as effective against D50s with the HE.
But at the same time, I mean, it's just chewing through that armor because, HE does damage every time.
Yeah, 100% of the time it works, 50% of it.
Oof, big hits coming in.
Mahou with a commanding 8,000 HP advantage as the push continues. And divide, run away. Every Sheridan run away. They're just kind of saying, "Oh, Bliet, why did we bring all of these shitty American tanks to this fight? This is awful."
The weird thing is, though, is they're just slowly chipping away.
Yeah, stick to the plan, guys. We've got this. Okay, we have, I think, a 0 damage hit from the derp from downrange here from random style.
Oh,
unfortunate. God. It's got a bit of a reload timer. Still about 8k damage advantage to Mahou. And Ali sitting up here freeing his mouse. Derp's plinking away.
Oh, and we were making jokes about that HE gun, but the E50Ms, they got stopped. And the HE shells keep coming. Did you see the splash shell? Oh no, that was a T92 that shot on Clap. I thought that was an HE shell from a Sheridan. I was about to say, oh my god. Why is this happening?
Yeah, I think Oil 17 is also currently strongly considering shooting his friend.
Barbarian attempting to ram Jeff and dying for it as well.
Got 10 seconds on this T92 shot as the E50's in the north. led by Jeff and Knight Rider coming in. Jeff is tracked. Oh no. Oh no. Here comes the T92.
Big hit on Jeff for 362.
Yeah, 362. HP 7k. It's about 7 minutes remaining. A lot's happened in the first couple minutes of this game. Only 2 E50Ms dead for Mahou.
Knight Rider going down to the Sheridan heat.
Yes, you can see a lot of pre-aiming with those derp guns. If you have ungainly guns, but really any guns in this game, you want to sort of pre-aim your reticle when you're coming around a corner. One thing you don't want to do is you want to aim and you want to be just hitting W and S. You don't want to be hitting A or D because then your whole hull traverses and your reticle gets bloomed. And you also ideally want to move your turret as minimal amount as possible. So you want to set up your gun before you poke the corner. Let the gun settle and then slightly poke, be pre-aimed, and hit your shot.
And you can see right away Tedster and Tank Destroyer now trying to push in on those Sheridans in the mountains. But, you know, that is a difficult spot to dig out, especially, you know, in normal circumstances. But, you know, with an RU server, or the RU team with all Sheridans, it's going to be difficult. Ooh, big HE pens on Tank Destroyer, though.
Ali taking some hits in his mouth from the derps. I think they may have, since they're above them, they may have actually gotten some hits into that engine tech.
Oh, no.
A little damage. And slowly and surely, Mahou are constricting the map. It's only a 4k HP advantage. But are all of these Sheridans about to just push across K-line and say, run away?
They
Can
might.
they make it?
I'm not sure. They might just be waiting for them to push in and then try to get some heat pens into the top of plates of those E50s.
Really, it goes down. Lexa Man getting another hit with this derp. Really making it work.
Big
This
hits
may
on
be
zero.
Mahou's victory. I'm still not saying never say never, but you know there are only a couple of derps remaining.
Jesus.
Oh, and then
Big hit.
T50.
Oh.
Come on, guys, you have to get relaxed. He's been playing. Man.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Zero for the ram.
Oh.
Will Tedster get Texman with the ram? That uphill ram? Nope. There goes O2 with the kill.
Commanding performance by Mahou.
And we now have a 1-6 game, boys. Mahou on the comeback.
The comeback is real. Mahou have oil exactly where they want.
Oh, God.
What a day. Checking the post-game stats, Jeff with 3,500 from Mahou, then it trails off massively. Kopiat, 3,500 in his Sheridan, random style almost matching him. Lexa getting 3k damage. Then the T92 right behind that. I mean, just all around. Near you getting 0 damage along with Nicole from Mahou. And we have a 6-1 scoreline. The camos stayed the same. Or no, we swap them.
Yes, we swapped the camos now, so you should have the Give Up branded camo on the left and the Trust camo on the right.
Yes, indeed. Got 4 minutes.
God. And we sit here and just look at this. All those E50s.
Yeah, we are on a delay, so they don't know, but
They are in for a treat, that's for sure.
It worked. The E50s worked with the one mass, right?
That it did.
If they brought something else and they lost, they'd all be sitting there going, why didn't we just bring E50s again? It worked that's the only time it worked. So yeah, problem is, Oil have not brought the same thing twice. Sheridan's for C50s, not the best. Not the best.
Oh, goodness.
How are you guys liking the games in chat? Has this been a fun Sunday afternoon? Hope you guys all having a good week.
Oh, I think that everybody's kind of just enjoying the games at this point. They are enjoying the memes at this point because it's all good natured, right? Right. This is all
Yeah,
good natured fun.
yeah. In the end, World of Tanks is a game, and games are supposed to be fun. World of Tanks community, just like a lot of competitive online games, a lot of the player base can lose sight of that from time to time, and it's refreshing to see both teams. I think just having a good time. They're just having fun, and it's not like anything that's like animosity or anything like that. It's just putting on a good show for you guys. You guys get to have some fun with them. I'm having fun time. Like it's not a question of mega tryhard or whatever. Both these teams have played a bunch of competitive scene games, and this is just good natured fun.
And we have about 2 minutes left until the next battle drops. And just taking a look at some of the chat, they all seem to be enjoying the games.
Yeah, I think so too. So yeah, it is a 6-1 scoreline. NA have just gotten their first victory, courtesy of E50M. We have one more round on steps. Then we'll see if NA takes this one again. Then we'll go on to another map that we're still not sure of. We know from the pool. It could be Himmelsdorf or Highway, I believe, are the two that remain in Melnov because the tiebreaker. So if NA do win this round, it'll be on to Himmels or Highway. I'd love to see some Highway because I think it would just be
I think Highway would be actually pretty interesting to see. Let's see if what happens here, if Oil's getting bored or
maybe Oil here at this point could be like, you know what? We have some plans for Highway. Like maybe they have some plans waiting, and maybe Highway's the next map, and they're like, we want to unveil it to the world, our new Highway comp, and I want to see it. I want to see Oil's Highway comp.
At this point, I'm wondering, did they have a Highway comp in plan?
I'm Highway comp. I remember when NA Clan Wars started with Highway, and that was the only map. Oh, it was an awful time playing Highway every day for about a year. But now it's the first time I feel like I'm excited to see Highway. We got about 20 seconds. I'm going to tab back into game.
Alrighty. And, oh geez, just looking at that preliminary lineup, it looks exactly the same, actually.
Yep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it may have been broken, but...
Oh my. You got your wish.
So Mahou bringing all E50Ms and one mouse. Tell me.
The 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 FV4005, the token WZ113G FT, 1 EBR, and 2 Manticores. So obviously, purely a meta lineup from Oil today.
Well, True Voodoo would be happy.
He certainly would be.
True Voodoo's probably sitting there going, oh, hey, I want to play for those guys. They bring mana cores.
Best light tank in the game, hands down. That EBR going for those early spots.
So the mana core, for those that are unaware, is the tier 10 British light tank. It was new about almost a year ago, about 9 months ago.
Probably, yeah, about at this point.
Yeah. It's widely renowned for its, well, being not great. It's like an AMX 13105, except it doesn't have a clip.
Yeah, and it's got just such terrible DPM. Such a small loadout. Oh god, big team killing going on the Oil team at this point.
Do we have
one big full pen? That was a full pen and a fire taking out Lexamen.
Oh,
now Lannister, it does look like Lannister went possibly blue, so they're just gonna kill him.
We've got a kangaroo court. There was some punishment being X is exacting the punishment. It looks like he's avenging his friend and fallen comrade. And I mean, yeah, the Russians here, they have their own flavor of justice. And I mean, if you kill one of your own, then we'll see. They may just leave him alive just a little bit. As X goes to do his scout run, he is low health, but he's been playing well all day today, having some fun. Scouts in on this 9 line.
Those FVs blind firing some of the typical spotting bushes on that little ridge.
Oh yes, one thing that FVs can do is blind fire, because it doesn't matter even if you hit them, but it means no one can sit in those traditional spots. So blind fires happen in Clan Wars, and if you see FVs and the like, and this many, I mean, it just means, look, you don't need to know if they're pushing across the field. If they push across the field, you'll kill them. But if you sit up in a bush to try to spot, in theory, a push across the field, they're just gonna start shooting all the pushes and maybe kill you.
You can see those lights being gotten for oil just so that way their FVs can get some shots in. Now, if I remember correctly, Mahou is on defense for this, so all they have to do is just kind of stay alive and let the clock tick down for it to be considered a win.
Yeah, they are on defense. They are in the traditional defensive spots, just with untraditional tanks. The FVs are... And look, it's just a little weird when I'm looking at the 9 like, okay, here comes the gobbling up, probably a couple of 2... No, it's all FV 4005.
And we can see the mouse actually in that back corner spot over in K0, the typical, like, area that you would send a room med or some really good hull-down tank.
Ooh, both those FVs ending up missing their shots or blinds. Meanwhile, the FVs are also susceptible to blind fire themselves. As you can see, they are quite large, boxy, squishy target.
Ooh, first kill coming in.
Kill. In a regular tank, no less. What is going on? Good job, Teddy.
Just goes to show that he doesn't need Artie to play well.
He just chooses to do it.
Exactly. And I think that makes it worse than not having the motor skills to be able to play a normal tank. we
poor
Tedster.
Guys, for those that are unfamiliar, we joke, we love Teddy. We just like to give him a lot of crap because he plays a lot of Artie and Clan Wars. That's all. It's all in good fun. It's no worries.
And did you notice that he has actually been streaming the last couple of days on nothing but artillery? He's trying to become the NA version of Dr. Nix, I believe, with a stream. So if you are trying to learn how to play artillery or how actually to avoid artillery, the best way to do that is definitely to watch Tedster's stream. Because the places that he's able to shoot are places that you should avoid.
I think I'd rather throw up. But anyway, I completed my minimum amount of Artie missions for my 279. I don't need to do that stuff anymore.
Oh, absolutely.
Until they release another set of missions that I have to.
Which, you know, let's be honest, will happen.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to get a tier 10 artillery one day. But yeah, anyway, we're looking here. The E50s continuing to hold with about 8,000 again. HP advantage. As you can see, Tedster is down very low, tucked in with his buddy Tank Destroyer. As the FVs poke up, Random Stone's Mana Core doing a little spot up and down. Get them relit for the FVs to get shots in, but you can see all the FVs just blinding those FVs up there. Here comes the shot in. Misses. That one did.
Ooh, that one did not at all.
Tank Destroyer goes down.
He has been smacked by an FV at that point.
Now the HP advantage about 6.5k due to that hit. Still a very big uphill battle for oil. About 4 minutes remaining. 420. Teddy goes down at the 420 mark. And that is the second tank for Mahou to die. And there are 2 tanks dead for oil. But they are going to have to muster a way to push with all these FVs. And, of course, rally. Ugly duckling. The World of Tanks fell first, and he gets a humongous hit there into easy. We're kind of saying, how can we make a tank like the 268, but how do we make it worse? Yes. Got the Wheezy 113G.
Easy going down to a big hit.
Going to show you that it may be awful, but if you're only about 20 feet away from your target, even the Wheezy 113 can sometimes hit.
Now, like we said earlier, Mahou is on defense, so they do have to hold on for about 3.5 minutes at this point. But, oh, big hit. Big hit on 27. I'm not entirely sure who's on that account, but a big hit coming in from an FV for 1,200 damage.
I think at the beginning, I think it may have been Nem, old friend. He was saying he was one of the numbers. It could be Nemesis. I'm not sure. Who has a big, burly, bass baritone voice. Ooh!
Oh.
Relia is trying to just be like, no, this tank is good. I swear, guys. Look all this damage I'm doing.
Relia changing the meta one tank at a time. Big hits going in on aggressive as well.
About 4K advantage. Oh, a little bit of...
Here comes the FV push. FVs are making a push on the 0 line. Oh, one goes down. Dilma's still alive.
Dilma. Oh, dies right there. And I think the FV push on the 9 line is no longer...
That seems to have stopped relatively quickly.
Okay, so now what is Oil going to do with 2 minutes left? Come on, quickly, come on. Go next, go next. Fast, fast, fast.
27 taking another big hit. 02 and 27 down to... Oh, there goes 02. All style going down as well. 1:58 left.
27
Oh,
dies.
Zerial just getting obliterated right through the front of his turret. Oh. Now all that's left is Swamp Cabbage Man and Lady Nickel over here on the K4, K5 ridge, and they are getting pushed on all sides. Ooh, Manticore taking a big hit as well.
Yeah, doing that poke, but yeah, getting punched, I believe, by Lady Nicole.
And Knight now up the mid. Oh, Knight is going for the draw. He's trying to make the play. Barbarian taking a huge hit as well. Swamp Cabbage going down. But Knight is away. He's now in that back corner where they won't see him, and they don't really have enough time to cap.
Oh, they see him. Lannister just hit him, and he's down to 184 HP.
Oof, yeah, never mind.
But Ollie still has 2k HP. There's still a couple of E50s in this corner, full health. I don't think they're going to be dying anytime soon. But hey, I mean, I've been proven wrong before.
Which means, in theory, we should be moving on to Highway at this point, right?
I hope it's Highway. I'm not sure what the map border is. But if it, let's hope it's Highway. "30 seconds remain, ticking and talking. And I mean, let's be real here. Mahou is bringing the exact same line.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt seeing a whole bunch of E50Ms in the one mouse.
Ali not allowing Zero Hate to get safe after that.
Oof.
Providing him now a nice little hold down.
Nope, he's just gonna push right on down. Ali down to 72 HP. Oh, goodness. And I think that is the first full 10-minute game we've had so far.
It is. And just like that, we have a 6-2 scoreline. Mahou commanding steps performance.
NA on top.
Look at the post-game stats. Lady Nicole, 4,500, and then just it trails off. Meanwhile, Relia and the Wheezy doing 4K as well. Barbarian, hold on. What was happening here? Lannister with the full 1,850 damage, turning blue on the friendly. He slaughtered Lexa after Lexa's good game the last round. Yeah. Little team killing, little fun.
Oh boy. You have Lannister with that full one-shot of 1,850 team damage.
Well, you know what they say. A Lannister always pays his debts.
And we're on
Thank goodness
Himmelsdorf
so.
now.
Oh,
No
well,
highway.
I love Himmelsdorf, but
All right, and we should be able to just kind of leave our camos the same, I believe. Yes.
that's what you always say.
I know, but I've been right so far.
You have it right. So Mahou, Team 1, Oil, Team 2. And we have a 2-6 scoreline in favor of Oil in this best of 13. Oil just need one more round to win it. But Himmelsdorf is a dreamy map. And now the possibilities of the rise of the Empire of the Sun, I think, is here.
I'm starting to think so as well. I think we're going to see all Type 5s, honestly.
Yeah, I think if there ever was a time for Japan, it's now. Ooh, there is another option. Oh god, it would slaughter them. Ooh. What if NA, with their NA brains, have anticipated this move and have gone for the hard Type 5 counter, the Jagdpanzer E100? That would be a sight.
That would actually, yeah. At this point, it's just it's a roulette wheel of possibilities because who really knows who's going to bring what at this point? It's been a surprise every time, I think.
Yeah, as we wait, we've got about 4.5 minutes to the next battle. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. For those who don't know, I'm Germ. I'm at twitch.tv/Germ_NA. I'm joined by Edge, as I call him, or Edge_of_. Insanity. Twitch.tv, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
As I try words are hard, man.
It is. It is. Being locked up for these continual days definitely doesn't make it any easier, that is for sure.
Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying their quarantine, staying safe.
Yeah, staying safe, staying healthy, wearing your masks when you go out in public.
Yes, indeed. It's an interesting time. It's an interesting time, and I hope everyone is and all your loved ones are happy and safe. Yeah, we got 3.5 minutes now. What else is there to say? I wish it was Highway. But yeah, Himmelsdorf, my favorite map. World of Tanks, I say that every time. Lots of possibilities. I don't know if we're going to see any of those possibilities that I normally would say today. But just a fantastic map. I think when most people, at least when I think of World of Tanks, and I think of a way to describe the game to someone that has never played World of Tanks before, the map that comes to my mind is Himmelsdorf. I think that's the map that comes to everybody's mind when they think quintessential World of Tanks.
Oh, absolutely. Just because it's been in the game for, oh god, so long. Going on, what, 9 years now?
Oh yeah, Himmelsdorf's been in the game since closed beta. It's been one of the original maps, and has stayed, while it's changed quite a bit, it really hasn't changed. It's added things to it, like, here's a rubble pile here, here's a window there, but it's mostly stayed iconic in that you have the hill fight, you have the 8-line tank alley, you have the courtyard, and you have the 1-2-line rail yard. It's mostly stayed the same with just nuance changes because the core of the map design is just classic and doesn't need much fixing. It's just a good, well-designed map, and it's just a lot of fun to play, and it's picturesque. It's very iconic.
It really is.
Now, you know what's not iconic? Airfield.
No.
That map's awful.
Screw that map.
Everything Airfield is not.
Screw that map. We won't talk about that map. It is an awful map and should be removed from the game.
Indeed. I have not played it since I put it on ban, except then I had to play it in Clan Wars once, and then I tried to dip out because I said I put this map on ban. I don't want to do it. Good luck, guys. Just don't put me in on this.
Exactly. All right, we've got about a minute and a half left until this next game that'll be on Himmelsdorf. Any predictions as to who's going to bring what?
Man.
Japan. You think Japan? I'm keeping the teams covered with the after battle results screen because I kind of want to be surprised just as much as everybody else when we load in.
I actually, now that you say it, I can see what Mahou is bringing, but I will not spoil it for you.
Oh man.
It could be all U50Ms and one mouse. It could be something else.
All EBRs to fight all Type 5s on Himmelsdorf?
Could be. Could be. I mean, it's paved roads and they're wheelie boys. I mean, they're gonna perform really well. Yeah, we got 50 seconds. I'm gonna tap back in, but I'm going to hide the screen from you guys so you can't see it.
Just to give everybody a little bit of that fun surprise when everything comes back in. Just because we're now at that point.
we're all gonna unwrap this present together live on stream.
Oh goodness. About 30 seconds now.
Remaining until Christmas morning. This overall, these last series of matches have been fun, very different. Very good performances from all clans participating. Appreciate that. From Atlas and APAC, from Devi and EU. Great matches against Mahou there. Saw a lot of great.
Absolutely. And no Type 5s. Very unfortunate, actually. But we do see a whole bunch of V4s. Oh my goodness.
I'm disappointed.
And, well, we do get to see some double barrel memes. We do have that
That's
to look forward to.
We did kind of forget about that. That is a distinct... I'm actually surprised we hadn't seen it yet.
And a return of the iconic top tank in the world, the IS-4, to competitive games.
Ugh. I had to play that thing in some strats on Himmelsdorf, in old Gold League. It was awful. I hated it, but it was the best side scraper at the time for the position.
Oh, yeah. And it's getting a buff, you know? So
yes, it is getting a buff. I mean, who would have thought? It's only about 7 years too late, but whatever. It's, you know, better late than never, I guess.
Absolutely. And it does look like that looks like it's just going to be a full-on brawl on the 1-2-3 line. Oh my god, all those V4s, they're just pushing right on down. It does actually look like it looks like the standard Mahou Himmelsdorf play with nothing but 60 TPs, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, these 60
and a bit
TP
memey from Oil, but still like it's a tank comp that can still do the general stuff on Himmelsdorf. It's not like they brought Sheridans.
No, absolutely.
Like that. You know, these tanks have hard stats that are just good. I mean, except the IS-4 doesn't have hard stats that are good, but it's there and it can do damage. As these 268 make contact, Rainbreaker taking a bunch of damage.
Were those HE shells from the 60 TP? They looked like.
Probably, actually. 60 TP does have a problem with penetration.
It does. It does have a big caliber gun, though, so I mean, HE isn't actually the worst option to shoot against a V4, but
that was
still,
the heat shell right there.
Yeah, right into aggressive right there.
We see the shots coming in. Let's go out and see what Kopiat's doing as well. Oh.
You can see the IS-7s and IS-4s. Yep.
I mean, they're going to die very fast. Teddy down to a one-shot immediately. As the play comes in, but will it actually end up in Mahou's favor? We shall see. The HP advantage still heavily in Mahou's way, but the 8-line is getting collapsed upon by the IS-7.
Oh, double-barreled ammo rack on the 60 TP by Lannister. We did just miss that, but we heard the double-barreled shot, and then the turret just popped. Random style now is going to go down to all the 60 TP.
Yeah, and this is, the HP is now evening out. Those tanks on the G line will be dead soon for Mahou, but they did mop up most of the tanks on the 2 line. They're going to try to get Mithy and Brainbreaker here. They can finish them quickly. Ali needs a high roll penetration here. He gets a low roll. Someone has to finish him. It has to be Clap God. You need to finish him right
Will
here.
he
No
pen the
bouncing,
shot?
bouncing.
Nope, bounce.
Oh, there's the
unfortunate. Kanowski Swamp Cabbage Man is going to go around and get the flank shot on and just get that full pen into his rear. But it does hold up Mahou's ability to make a counter push and try to farm out those tanks that are in the corner.
Yeah, tank count, even. HP, Oil's favor decisively now by about 4,000.
Oh, big
But
fire and big guns.
Oh, that's really going to hurt. He's not going to die, but he is at a one-shot, and if he just keeps driving forward, he's just going to die easily. Zerial poking out. Oh, Allstain going down to a one-shot. 3 penetrations in a row. Barbarian's now a one-shot as well. Realize with the 750 Alpha, it's very easy to get something to a one-shot, but they have to then get the finishing blow here. The IS-7's trying to stay as hold down as they can, trying to hide using the Rex. You can see them sneaking these shots.
Oh, absolutely. Oil's still up by about 3,000 HP, though, at this point, so it's still in their favor.
Yeah, just the guns that are one-shot for Mahou are difficult for them to pick right now.
Yeah, that the heat pen on those, yeah, the heat pen on those 60 TPs is definitely not favored to pen an IS-7 turret.
No, it is not. That's true. Relia here with the HP coming to reinforce it. He bounces Lady Nicole. Barbarian gonna go for the shot. Oh, but O2 getting the kill shot on him, and that is really bad for Oil here. They're just gonna have to rely on double barrels to get these victories. Here goes Dilma. He has to push into Zerial and big guns. He has to pick up one of them. Relia trying to survive, just making a bit of a roadblock. He's getting HE down.
You can see Swamp Cabbage Man is trying to get some shots in on Lannister, but Lannister is in that little pocket, so he's pretty safe over there, and Swamp is just kind of out in the open, taking a big shot. Oh, but the pen goes through. Lannister taking a big hit from that 60 TP heat shot.
Oh my goodness, I was going to say Cloud God is not a one-shot, but getting that hit allowed for the extra over here on the fucking banana road to get that kill. That was sick. 600 HP to 1,800, and look at the guns left alive. This is going to be a Mahou win.
And this was actually, like, I know they're meme strats, but this was a straight-up brawl. And Mahou did very well in this.
Dilma, the last remaining, is a bit mean from both sides, but in the end, it's Himmelsdorf with a bunch of heavy tanks, and I think that Oil's lineup was superior by far.
I mean, the ST2s, I would say, are probably the biggest negative of that lineup, but the rest of them are relatively competent.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised, but good job to Mahou.
Yeah, well done to Mahou.
Now will we continue to see memes, or will we see a legitimate lineup from
from Oil?
Looking at the post-game stats, Ali with almost 5k damage, 4k damage from Zerial and Swamp Cabbage, then it goes down to 3k. Meanwhile, Mifiozi, 5,500 in his 268 version for blocking 1,500, meaning 2 shots from those 50 TPs, or 60 TPs. Lannister, 3,500 in his double barrel boy, 3,300 from Lexa, and Stale. Then it trails off, but Dilma with only 2,800 but 4 kill shots.
Yeah, no, those kill shots are really the important part when it comes to competitive games. But let's see. So we'll go ahead and swap our camos. So the give up camo should be on the right. What do you think we'll see this time? Do you think we'll see another meme strat just to kind of play out Himmelsdorf, or do you think we're going to get something a little bit more of a serious lineup to end this series?
I think they're going to want to end it, but I don't think it's going to be completely serious. I think it's going to be... I think that last lineup was memey, but, like, good enough, right? It was supposed to be memey, but good enough to end it. They didn't bring all type 5s or whatever. All of those tanks have high penetration heat shells, well, except, like, the 705. But, like, you know what I mean? They all were legitimate tanks that could be put into those positions and work, sort of, right? Like, they may not have been ideal, but they can absolutely work. And I think we'll see something similar from them this time. It was really close. They just may do something like bring slightly less, like they may not bring IS Force. I don't know, something like that, where they're just like, may not bring as many double barrels, like you said. Like if they just substituted those with some Super Conquerors or 277s, I think they're going to be in a much more favorable position.
Oh boy. Alright, and with about 2.5 minutes left on this counter, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a cup of coffee, and I will be right back.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, and with about a minute left, I have returned.
Well, welcome back. We've got about 1 minute.
Any predictions for who's going to bring what for this game?
I accidentally saw part of Mahou's lineup before, so I think I know what it is, unless they've changed it since then.
Oh man.
I think it'll be the same lineups as last time from Oil, except I just expect a couple of the tanks to switch. I think it'll just still be a bit memey, but there's going to be a couple more better tanks in there. They may drop the Ice Force. The Ice Force can still hang with it. It's just they're, behind the 8-ball. But yeah, that's kind of what I expect. But I think they could have won that with the tanks they had as well. Just needed to execute a little better. Also, it's rough playing against that many 60 TPs.
It really is.
Oh, and for those saying that I also have been playing a lot of WoW lately, I'll have you guys know I'm missing a raid because there's a World of Tanks tournament that I want to be a part of.
Oh man.
That's dedication. And here we go into battle. We have
all the 60 TPs again.
Yes. We have oi 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 60 TP. And then we have 60 TPs of their own on Oil, coupled with a 50B Mouse, some Jagdpanzers, an E3, and one Super Conqueror.
Interesting choice for a lineup, but it does look like they're probably going to put that Super Conqueror and the 50B on the hill. That would be my guess right off the bat.
Yeah, if they feel like they can protect it. Because although the 60 Ps are slow, I mean, can the Jagdpanzers protect it? Well, I guess you're right. They can just go up there and run away. 60 Ps can't really run them down. Ooh, first HE shot hit from Kaput.
Tedster getting a taste of HE spam that he's so used to giving out. Big HE trade across that middle courtyard area. You can see the 50B is going to take the hill, but it does look like Mahou sending some 60 TPs up there as well.
Yeah, you are right. I think it's 3 of them, if I'm counting correctly, or maybe 4. Heading over there, number 27, Jeff, and another.
Tedster getting more HE spam. Karma is a thing.
It is. It is. I'm not necessarily upset to see it.
Oil making a play down the 3 line, it looks like.
Yeah, they're just kind of doing that. Well, they're not here as much, and we're just going to kind of go. The coal is there, and little damage being exchanged, though. A lot of HE being fired. A lot of HE.
Random Style making a play across the courtyard as well, getting just completely HE'd down, and that's in that Super Conqueror.
Yeah, getting tracked twice is unfortunate. Knight Rider coming onto the 8 line, not able to be sectioned off. He's going to get an easy shot into Random. That will bring him down to a 1-shot, and he does go down. Knight now in this cubby has to stay tucked while Barbarian and Brainbreaker start moving immediately. This is something that I was mentioning before when I said the Russians move fast. In a lot of games, you would see Brainbreaker and Barbarian just stay there. I don't even think there was necessarily a call. I think they just said, we're going now. Like, we see everything that the caller sees. We know where they are. We're going now. This has to be done now. Knight Rider is now dead as a result. There was no hesitation. So
able to just take control of that.
Mahou.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Knight Rider, a caller from Mahou, saw the execution. I can make this call and be like, I'm going to go up here to stop the Super Conqueror, kill him, because we can't let him get in there. Meanwhile, the Russians just did the simple counterpoint to that, so it ends up being an even trade. And now the Russians still have to take it.
Big Gun's taking a huge heat pen from that JPZ. Jesus. O2 on the hill taking some hits as well.
The heat penetration on the Jagdpanzer E100 is kind of what I call FU penetration. It's, I don't care really what your armor is.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
I can penetrate anything if I roll well. So even if you are hull down IS-7 or something like that, and it doesn't, you know, it's just like you could be a perfectly angled mouse. You can still just be penetrated. So
Now the
just
HP
realized
is
that.
relatively similar, but Mahou does have two 60 TPs that are a one-shot to pretty much anything, but the mouse does go down. There goes Lex.
Yeah, that 2-line push from
And
Oil
all stale.
horribly. And you can see their Yak Panzers at J3 are now starting to make a move to reorganize there, but this 2-line play just did not work. They pushed down with 3 tanks, and there were enough Mahou tanks to just kind of let them hang themselves. Like, they just ended up going in and dying.
And you can
And
see
they
the
didn't really
Mahou at
get
60
any-
TPs, they're making the play on the 3-line now. Not really any, but oh, Lady Nickel going down almost immediately with that big ammo rack.
Dilma scampering away into the courtyard. Yes, this is still firmly in Mahou's favor. It's only about 2,500 HP, 3,000 HP. It can go either way, and the tank kills are about equal, but as the kills go in more and more, as you have more and more things without turrets, it becomes harder and harder to maneuver. And you can see the hill is in Mahou's control. They were able to scare the 50B off, and now they are on the back foot while Mahou is able to kind of pressure Dilma going down to a one-shot. He has nowhere to hide without hill control.
Dilma going down, yep. Tell you what, that hill control has been given to Mahou, and it's definitely paying off.
Yeah, this is looking more and more like Mahou. I mean, Oil can still win it, but still some fun being had. Still some pseudo memes. I mean, all 60 TP is a meme, obviously, and I think that bringing that many Yak Panzers is slightly memeism. And I think they brought the 60 TPs because they're like, well, they're bringing all 60 TPs and it worked. Like, we just should bring something. Lannister heading up to the hill to Yak Panzer.
Tank Destroyer going down.
Yeah, we just have a bit of an HE fest, a bit of a slow, methodical play. Another HE hit into Barbarian for 389 from Jeff. And the heat bouncing off of Jeff. And there's another 318 HE coming in from, I believe, Big Guns up in the window there, sneaking a shot into the Barbarian.
Now, Oil is on defense, so Mahou does need to make a play.
That is true. That is true. And how are they going to make that play? They have about 4 minutes. It's not a lot of time, especially with these slow-moving tanks.
My guess, the 60 TPs on the hill are going to make that push down. They're going to run at the Jagdpanzer. One of them might die, but they should win that trade.
X goes down.
Yeah, here comes 27. He's going to go ahead and take that peek, but his turret is poking the wrong way. Lannister might be able to make this shot. Nope, he's taking the peek on that little ridge area to get some shots.
And it was HE!
Oh, unfortunate. If that had been a heat shell, that probably would have penned.
That would have definitely been able to pen. A very strong tank, though, to be poking his turret up here.
Oh, absolutely. Just enough gun depression to be able to use that spot as well. Big hit. Yep, there's the heat shell.
And it was into aggressive. As he starts backing up, trying to clear off of this. Zerial crossing. Oh, he misses the shot. Oh, and just barely misses the snap. You can see he was actually using third-person view on that shot. A lot of players in turreted tanks in particular, if you're wondering, this is something that I am in particular not very good at. I would say is one of my weaknesses. If you want to play turreted tanks, non-turreted tanks. Sorry, non-turreted tanks, I should say.
Ooh, the
God,
bounce.
that's a bad one.
The bounce from aggressive off of Zerial.
You should try to use third person when aiming more than first person. It's much more effective when you're using a non-turreted tank. And you can see aggressive is doing it here. I mean, well, you can still aim shots and stuff, but when you're moving in particular, when you're moving and adjusting and firing like a half snap, it's much better to be doing it in third person.
Aggressive finally going down.
2.5 minutes remaining.
Barbarian, Dema, and Brainbreaker all very low, well, with the exception of Dema, low HP and playing in that mid-road.
Yeah, and I mean, 6k remaining to 8k. It's very close, and Mahou's going to take a little punish when they make the move, but
O2 making the play on Lannister now to probably get around and behind. There goes Lannister. He's going to just drive down to get into that cap. Swamp Cabbage Man as well. They're just going to go ahead and try to get into there and try to get on the cap, make Oil have to either make the choice to come back or try to, kill.
Yeah, and I think they're right to just be on the cap and just making them come back. That's what they should be doing.
Big hit coming in, picking Barbarian from easy games.
So this is gonna be Mahou's game, barring something awful happening here.
Well, Mythois is going for the reset, it looks like, but Swamp Cabbage Man is in that back corner and he's full health. I mean, he can trade some time.
Yeah, and he can cap out again as long as he gets someone else there. But all those guys on the 8 line are.
They're all trying to get back now. Yep. Swamp Cabbage Man, though, does have a hold down 50B there.
Oh, we got that kill. And now it is just Myth. And that should be it. So Myth comes in. Oh, and yes, that hold down with the 50B wreck is situated pretty perfectly.
just difficult enough.
So...
Well fought game, actually. Like, I feel like it's still kind of memey, but well fought for Mahou. That will bring the game series to 6-4, which is, as some people in the chat have putting that out, better than the RU EU games.
Yeah, that makes it 6-4 in the first to 7 best of 13, and a sweeping Himmelsdorf in a pseudo meme, but not completely meme. I will absolutely hand the Steps games over as just cheeky good fun.
Oh, of course. But I'd say that these two Himmelsdorf games have been, while they have been meme comps, they've been seriously fought by both sides.
Right, exactly. It wasn't a meme comp, everyone push into the middle type of thing. It was meme comp, but normal positions, normal strategy. You see Clapgod getting almost 6,000 damage in a 60 TP. Impressive stuff. That's all you really have to see from Mahou, even though the others did well too. But Barbarian, same thing. 5,500 in his 60 TP. So 60 TPs are king. Lannister, though. 4 penetrations, 5,200 damage, 2 kills. Pretty good in a Jagdpanzer 100. Now let me update my scoreline, as I do every round. Battle pops. And we got our wish. Maybe Oil was listening to us, and I was saying I really wanted Highway.
I think
that's what they were doing. And if that's what they were doing, Oil, thank you. Thank you very much. That was, Spasiba. Spasiba very much. Thank you. Because I wanted to see some Highway meme.
Alrighty, and our camo should be good because Oil will be defending first on this.
Okay, so TR to the left to give up to the right. And yeah, got about 5 minutes here. Highway. Clan Wars on Highway. I was mentioning that many years ago when it first opened up, I played a bunch on that map. It's changed quite a bit since then. It's a very open map, obviously. If you commit early, you end up in a rotation problem, and a lot of light tanks can do a lot of things to discover the enemy team early. Expect to see a bunch of medium tanks. I guess since they can't bring 907s, though, I would assume we'll
140s
see...
would be my guess.
Yeah, 140s, STBs, Leopards even. Leopards can cross the ground really quickly.
2 or 3 EBRs, 1 artillery.
Yes. I would say 2 artillery on this map, just because of the nature of... There's nowhere that can be safe. But yeah, we could also see some Russian heavies too, some fast tanks. I don't know which side is defense, whether it's the north or the south, but it used to be north, and it's going to be hard for the attacking team to bring tanks like Super Conquerors, I think, just because of the time it takes to move around the map. But defending team can bring Super Conquerors. Now, Chieftains would be very effective on the map, just because the the ability to move around with gun depression. But
I'd
yeah, I just
expect
don't know if they can move.
277s, I think.
Yeah, I expect to see 277s as well. 907s are the backbone of this map, but we cannot see 907s. So, yeah. Or we could see memes.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
from
entirely
Oil's
sure.
perspective, it's getting a little close, isn't it?
I mean, it's possible that yeah, I don't know. You know, I think the last two games were like we said, meme comps, but seriously fought. So I think it's a real possibility that we see an actual lineup from Oil, just to kind of say, okay, we're done with this now.
We're done
We've had our
playing
fun. It's
games.
been, you
Yeah.
know, it's been 2 hours. This has been fun, but you know, we're done. Will Mahou though, like, take the chance and run a meme comp, or will they run a serious comp? Will we get a serious lineup? You know, that's the real question.
It's a good question. I have their team covered, so I don't spoil myself.
Yeah,
So
same here.
we'll open the present with you guys in chat at the same time. Got about 2.5 minutes. Uh, yeah, it's interesting to see a common thread in I find in like World of Tanks threads or Reddit or whatever, because I still do read it from time to time. I hear a lot of complaining, sometimes justified on, oh, Chieftain's overpowered, 907 this, or 279 that.
Did I lose you, Jerm? What? You there, Jerm? It appears that Jerm might be having some technical difficulties with his stream and with Discord at the moment. It's possible that some internet shenanigans are going on. We will have to wait and see. But for those of you that are coming over from Germ's stream, welcome. We have about a minute and a half left until the start of the game on Highway. And if for those of you still
Oh,
watching,
can you
oh,
hear
are
me?
you back? Are you back?
I
I
had to
hear you.
disconnect. I'm synchronizing. My
Oh
internet
man.
just blipped for a second.
Oh gosh. Got ISPs are terrible when it comes to stuff like that.
Yes, apologies, guys. It appears the stream is back up. I'm synchronizing. What's the timer on the battle?
About 16 seconds.
Oh
So
god, it's synchronizing.
you are still in here and you are green, so you might get pulled in. Two seconds, 1 second. You're still green. You haven't been given that disconnect message yet.
It's like frozen.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
loading into highway.
hey, there we go. Welcome back.
Okay, whew. Sorry,
Welcome
guys,
back.
about that.
And it does look like Oil has decided that they are tired of playing. Mahou with the 14 E50Ms and the 1 mouse, while Oil brings a serious lineup of 2 artillery pieces, 3 BRs, an STRV, 4 430Us, a Leo 1, 4 Super Conquerors, and a 277.
Yes, that is a... And Oil is on defense, correct?
Oil is on defense, so you can see that the Super Conquerors are going to take up those defensive positions right on that 9-line ridge. And Mahou, it does look like, is just gonna shit push the city with all of those E50Ms and keep one mouse in the back.
Yeah, one E50 staying, and the rest are just staring. But yes, this is 100% a serious lineup from Oil. I think they've had their fun, like you said. Uh, it was a Mimi lineup before with serious play, but they did put themselves in a handicap with them and Yag Panthers. This is 100% a serious lineup. Correct positions initially. You can see their one in a bush, one's doing the active scouting. Just
Random, though, getting picked by
proper.
those E50Ms. Almost down 137 HP. Mahou still not having left the cap.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, okay, looks like now they are moving out. E50s, oh, well, not this one. The one that I clicked on is not leaving. The rest all are pushing out.
The delayed push with Knight now taking control of some of the city areas, but those Super Conquerors in the back are going to provide some difficulty for Mahou to be able to push up that 9 line, that is for sure.
Yeah, so the funny battle on steps with the Sheridans versus E50Ms, where I said, well, the E50Ms are weak against most everything, but they're actually strong against Sheridans. That was true. E50Ms against Super Conquerors, on the other hand,
Not so much.
E50Ms are not strong against that. That is a rock crushing scissors situation, and the E50M are the scissors in that metaphor of mine.
Those E50, it looks like Mahou is just going to kind of push right on through. They're hoping that overwhelming numbers they'll be able to overwhelm those Super Conquerors. But the Super Conqueror DPM, I mean, is very good. Aggressive, though, taking some big hits because that lower plate is just completely exposed.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, unless if Ma was able to make a serious push and these Super Conquerors end up overextended, then they can do well, but I just don't see that happening. But I mean, they have gotten in there, and I mean, aggressive is going to go down, and these Super Conquerors need to start backing up and giving up ground. Dema Kaput, or Kaput and yeah, they'll die, but they need to make sure that those are the only two that die here afterwards. The rest of them just need to take up these defensive positions on this ridge line, pivot in, and they should be good. HP advantage, though, I mean, this actually does not look good for
It
for,
doesn't, actually.
Oil.
This is a pretty solid E50M push.
They got really far without being protected, and that was the surprise to me. But we'll see how this ridgeline fight goes on, because even if these maps are decisive here, they cannot stay entangled, and they are. I mean, this is over. It's already over because they still have the mouse on defense. There's no way to countercap. This is just the E50Ms.
It works somehow. This is interesting.
They got all the way to F0 before they were detected. That was a massive oversight by Oil. I mean, the HP is getting a little closer now, I guess, and a lot of that HP is on the mouse, but...
I mean, 2 EBRs, a Leopard 1.
Yeah, eliminating the EBRs.
Big hit coming in on O2 from the artillery. But Tedster, I mean, Tedster doing the Lord's work and cleaning them up as well.
Yeah, they need to make sure they just don't get capped, which
well, the mouse, yeah, they shouldn't, because the mouse is still over there.
Yeah.
And the E50M, I mean, it's huge, but it's kind of speedy.
We have a 430 versus a mouse, so... Mahou just won with 14 E50Ms and a mouse on highway against a serious line. And that was just a big oversight in their scouting towards the city. I don't know if they didn't anticipate it or they just had a miscommunication and didn't think it through.
I'm not sure.
Not trigger that push till F0.
I think they caught them a bit off guard, honestly. Very,
well done by Mahou.
Very interesting play, honestly.
All of
well
a
done.
sudden, it's 6-5. And Mahou are going to be on highway defense. Oh, ho, ho. Is this? Can this happen? Is this allowed? This isn't in the script, right? The script said no. NA's supposed to lose. What? What? Oh, extra mint blue. Oh, that was from earlier. Look at the post-game stats. Zero with almost 4K in his E50 tank destroyer with 3,200 but 4 kill shots. Then it starts to trail off. Lannister getting out almost 4K in his leopard with 2 kill shots. Then it drops off to Near You and Aurelia. Yeah.
I mean, I think the E50M spam is a meme, but it caught them off guard because that was a serious comp by Oil, and it just. I mean,
Yes,
who knows?
was.
That was interesting.
That was a serious comp with a serious strategy, and it got trounced by a 14 E50M push through the city. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget to switch your camos.
Oh.
But definitely caught me off guard. That's for sure.
Yeah, they just didn't. They didn't find it early enough.
Well, they pushed back that EBR right at the very beginning, and from that point on, they didn't really have vision on that city area. Like, they knew the E50Ms were in that back line on their cap, but they didn't know exactly where they had gone once they pushed off Lex.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have words. I don't have words. I want to have words. I feel like it was all set, though. What do I say? Let's see if it works again. Because do they continue to do the meme? Like, Oil had fun with them, won some, had fun with them, lost some. Mahou had fun with them, lost some, and won some now. Do they bring all the E50Ms again, or do they do a legitimate defense?
I don't know.
Defendable map.
It certainly is. I mean, it's definitely a defendable map, but I think they might have made Oil a little mad with what just happened. So it will have to kind of wait and see.
Yeah, I imagine Oil's comms right now are not particularly happy. Meanwhile, Mahou are just here having fun right now. They said, "Oh, we got trounced in the first couple rounds, like it wasn't even close." But it's 5-6 now. All that's in the past. There's maximum of 2 rounds left. One is 100% on highway next, and if Mahou wins it, then it goes to the tiebreaker on, I believe it was Malinovka or Murvon.
Let me double check. I think
Malinovka.
Yeah, Malinovka will be the one. That'll be that should be interesting if Mahou pull this off.
Yeah, we have about how long? Minute 40. I'm still hiding the lineup, so I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing. But yeah, this has been. I mean, my expectations have been subverted. I am. I just didn't expect a lot of this to happen. I thought that one of those Himmelsdorf games, especially that first one, I thought Oil were going to take it handily, but they did not. Mahou just played it better a little bit and had just more Polish tanks.
I'm sitting here and I'm reading the chat, and I'm actually kind of excited to see what their reactions are, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, and guys in my chat, apologies earlier, I typed in chat. I lost internet for about 30 seconds, but we didn't miss any gameplay, so sorry about that. Hopefully you guys are all back now. It was just a brief blip. Someone severed the cord in the ground, and I lost internet.
I informed my chat that I hacked you to steal the viewers, obviously.
Oh, of course, yes. And he is at edge_of_insanity.
Absolutely. And if you're watching my chat, please do go ahead and give germ_na a follow as well. And if you're feeling particularly generous, a subscription as well. Play some.
I don't
really
have
good,
as many underscores as this guy.
No, that's true. All right,
Yeah.
In we go. Alrighty, and right off the bat, we can see that legit comp again coming from Oil.
Yeah, so Mahou sticking with the E50Ms and one mouse. Oil bringing two Object 277s, three Super Conquerors, one Leopard, four 430Us, one STD, two EVRs, and two artillery. So yes, another very serious comp from Oil. Enough messing about as I forget to tab into game during the countdown. Missed nothing. Ollie's gone about 2 feet. 2 seconds.
He is making it. It does appear that Mahou is making its way downtown once again.
And we can see these EBRs going out. One is immediately going down the 2 line, while Brainbreaker is over here, pushing up straight in. I remember when I first got my EBR on highway, I was like, this is the scout route I would do. I'm like, well, why not?
Here comes Brainbreaker. Will he run face first into all these E50Ms? No, he's gonna cut it a little short, possibly.
He's about to poke up now, and what will he see?
Oh, he is definitely lit. There he is. Zerial getting the first hit into him. The rest of the E50Ms trying to get a little bit of a peek to get some shots in.
E50Ms, not great tanks, but pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate, especially at relatively short ranges. That is true. Big arty shell coming in.
He's gonna die.
Banebreaker picked right away. But big arty shots coming in.
Scout loop. Do you need, like, against all E50Ms, it's like,
Well, it seems reminiscent of what they did earlier, where, you know, the E50Ms just sat and then picked them immediately.
Random dies, like, they'd lose all eyes. They have 430Us to try to scout out at that point. And on highway, like, they need this guy alive. Lady Nicole has taken that A2 position. He's just designed to hold out as long as he can. Knight Rider, you can see, is a one-shot under the bridge.
He is a one-shot, but, you know, at the same time now, those E50Ms, I mean, they're pretty accurate. And again, it looks like they're sending a majority of them into the city. Probably to try, I'm guessing, to try to make a play on those Super Conquerors that are kind of just stuck at their base, but it does look like Oil might have seen it and is now kind of flexing back.
Yeah, the question is, what can they accomplish pushing the town, and what can they accomplish staying where they are? Now, I don't think they can accomplish much on either, because Nicole is just dead, right? They got some punishment out on the 430U, so I guess it's okay. But now they're trying to get random style into these bushes to give eyes, and Knight Rider will never be able to poke again safely. He will probably go down eventually if he does.
And here comes the E50M move. Will they commit to it, though? Because it does look like Oil kind of spotted it. They're committing. They're going in.
But look at all these tanks in their base. Like, they're ready for it this time. Zero Hate is down to a one-shot. He's going to die. This was what I was concerned about. If Mahou just didn't push, they can still win this.
I think they're going to try to... well, no, they're keeping some E50Ms in the back. They're going to try to get underneath into the water, it looks like, to make them have to commit over to get some eyes in there. But meanwhile, they're going to have E50Ms in the forest that are able to just kind of snipe into those tanks that are in the back. I mean, it's not, in theory, a bad play. And they've still got an E50M and the mouse back at base. Knight Rider is probably going to get picked by an EBR in just a minute. But now these 277s, the 430Us, have to commit down into a bowl.
And this will be the end of Mahou.
Yep, and this looks like it'll be the end, actually, yeah.
They didn't commit that many tanks down to A1. They committed the bare minimum. They knew exactly where all of Mahou's tanks were, and they didn't make a critical error like they did in the previous battle where they just didn't know where they were. They sacrificed an EBR to know that they had E50Ms in the town and not on the A1 corner, and they just said, okay, we need to be ready in case they push at it. Fool me once, but not fool me twice, or no more fooling.
And with this, it will be game point, match point for Oil.
Yep. Yeah, this will be the end of the series. Unless the victorious here. Tank Destroyer doing the gun up in the air for the ram, the salute. and due to his honorable display, the Oil teammates decided to say, yes, we will. And yeah, I'm sure he will that. So congratulations to Oil. A fun series. The first couple battles in particular were serious and really well executed on Sand River. And then we had a lot of fun, both sides taking back and forth on Himmelsdorf and on Mines, and and overall, what I said earlier, it was a fun afternoon of tanks. This is a game. It is a competitive game, but every once in a while, the games need to be fun. And I think both of these teams had a lot of fun today. and I think you guys did too watching it.
I think everybody enjoyed themselves a little bit, especially these last couple of games where it seemed like, even though there were some meme comps brought, they turned into real games. They were well fought, well played. I mean, just looking at the not this particular battle, but the one before, it was well done. It was definitely GG's to both Oil and to Mahou for the games today. I know for myself, I certainly appreciate the play.
Yeah, I do, and I hope that we get to do more of these type of games in the future. We just did a set of 3 for us being NA casters, doing NA versus EU, APAC, and now RU. And I think all the players had a good time.
Oh, I
The final
definitely think
scoreline
so.
is 7-5.
Definitely well fought on all sides, and a big thank you to Mahou for letting us cast it, and to Wargaming for setting everything up, getting the battles organized, as well as getting German observer accounts, as well as the mods that you saw today that allowed us to get good perspectives of everything that was going on in the games.
Yeah, thank you, Big Brother, Large Foreign Object, Phil. Guys all have helped us get everything installed and working and getting us accounts. We appreciate all the guys at Wargaming helping us out because they want everyone to just have fun and be able to watch this type of stuff. And I think everyone enjoyed it. But yeah, I guess that's going to do it for us here. Congratulations again to R for CIS. And again, this is Edge. I'm Germ, and I guess we'll sign off.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that you go ahead and give germ_NA a follow or a subscription if you have the means to. And we hope to see you all back here soon for some games here shortly.
Yep. We'll see you guys later. Peace.